and not make this series competitive. Like, what would be your angle for Dignitas if they were to take this series? Like, how do you think they should be playing? Because it feels like they're a little bit all over the place.
I don't know. They just need to like.
They need to lock in.
Yeah, they
need to
just
try and
lock
scrim.
They need to lock in.
For one, try and scrims.
Okay.
But like I don't know. In the last years, they just looked dead. Like,
yeah.
Bad things happened early game. Some of the games were getting a bit bloody later. To be honest, I only watched the early games.
Yeah. I will say I felt like they had a pretty bad meta read. I felt like every draft we played was just like winning on our end. So yeah, maybe they should have some better drafts and they'll be good.
That might just be the answer.
They'll adjust.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Energy side though, it's weird because I felt like they did pretty well at the very tail end of things when they were playing like Ivern, Braum, double AD carry, like Kiteback. Like that's what it felt like. Okay. They still ended up losing that series versus the Dignitas in the regular season, but like they had leads. If you were to make a prediction on this series, who do you guys think would take it? I wouldn't say the score, but like if you want to add that. I'll start with you, Busio, since I already had you.
Let's go.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know, but I mean, I guess I'll go NRG.
Yeah.
But like, it can really be anyone.
Is it energy from both of you guys too?
Yeah, I think Energy will win like 3-1 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Dignitas need to do? At least for you. To impress you on this one.
I don't know, bro. I mean, maybe swap. I mean, maybe they should just swap every game and try to hope that Energy will not adapt well or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think Energy is not that great at swapping. So maybe they should do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they feel like is working for them. I'm not sure what their players are good at. I mean, Jensen is good at mages, so maybe he should play some mages.
Okay.
And yeah, last time I was talking with him at the content we did, I was telling him that he should play Hwei on Rihanna, and he decided to play AD, so he lost. So maybe now he will be back to Hwei on Rihanna. We'll see.
Smolder was pretty scary level 1.
Smolder level 1 power spike took him out.
Felt like they were at their best with he was at his best with Zir, Hwei, all that. Let's go to the next series because you're saying energy as well, just because I also forgot about it.
It should be energy.
Okay. Saturday is going to be Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves, so that's going to be you on the line. You're already probably thinking about that series. Actually, going to go to you since you've thought about it a little bit. What's your thought going into that series?
Just play good. I don't know. There's not much to it. I feel like we've been ramping up pretty well. Just like in scrims and on stage, I felt like we're pretty comfortable. But obviously, they're a really good team. But we shouldn't be scared of them. You know, I think we should respect them, but we shouldn't be like scared of what they're gonna do. I think our players, like, we tend to get it into our like heads a bit if like we think we're not confident. So yeah, just like play well and don't like think too much about it.
Because I remember in the Player of the Week interview, you did end up talking about how the toughest bot lane you faced was Jan and Core JJ. Pretty sure that was your answer. Going into that bot lane, just like, what's your thought going into them? Because they've been performing really well. We haven't talked about All Pro, but I'm assuming they're probably going to be top on that one. So your assessment going into that duo with Ayla?
Honestly, I think them as a bot lane, like 2-2, I'm not too worried. I just felt like last playoffs when I played against them, they kind of just took over the map. I felt like we just got out macroed more so than like out laned. So yeah, I'm not too worried in the 2-2 specifically.
You said 100 Thieves might do this funniest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Team Liquid will win, and I think they will win 3-1. But I can see like them having a bad day and the series going really close. But I hope they will win. Like, I don't want Team Liquid to lose and then Under Thieves goes Worlds. Like, I don't want to see that.
Like, why not?
Like, for the better for America.
What do you think, Busio?
I think Team Liquid will win.
Okay, but
I don't think it's going to be like a 3-0 or anything, maybe, you know? Like, Tomo seems pretty confident.
I think,
I believe in you, bro.
Convince these guys.
I believe in you,
There is no way it's going to be a stomp. I don't think so. I think it will be, like, I think Team Liquid will have to work for it. I think they will have to work for it.
We'll make them work for it. We'll make them work for it.
Make your case.
If it's gonna be done, I don't know. Just play well. Just play well. Like, they're a good team, but you just need to play better.
If you want to win, you just need to play well. Like, what else can you do?
Tomo, you just need to emote on them.
Emote on them?
That's actually
like
true.
One person emoting, that's strong, but like two people, they won't be able to focus.
You guys should just adopt whatever the hell Sniper doing up top lane. Like anytime he just gets a solo kill,
He's
there's an
different,
emote
bro.
there.
On stage, he's different.
Yeah?
He always gets solo kills somehow.
Somehow it
Yeah.
happens. Like, okay, before I move on, because like you already made your case and just play well. Playing with Sniper, how has that been on the team? Because like there are some characters on the team, it feels like they just have a lot of energy. They're there.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
thought?
sometimes I forget that Sniper is 17. Like, he literally just joined the league.
Mhm.
He's definitely, like, he's definitely uncultured in a lot of stuff. And, like, when we try to explain some stuff, he's, like giggly and, like, confused. And it's pretty funny. Like, one time I showed him, like, the scary maze, you know?
Oh yeah, that was on Twitter.
I posted
Yeah.
on Twitter, the scary maze. He's never played it before.
Yeah.
I caught on camera. He, like, jump scared, like, out of his seat when I showed him. It was pretty funny.
That's an old ass game, by the way. I feel like I played that when I was in school. How the hell do you know about it?
Everyone knows about it.
Do you guys know about it?
Yeah, I saw it before.
What
Okay.
game? I've no scary
It's like
maze.
the scary maze. It's like the maze, and when you get to the, I'm just spoiling it for you now. When you
Okay.
get to the tail end of it,
Yeah, you rather have your headset off.
huh?
You rather have your headset off when you're playing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been warned.
We've already warned you. So unfortunately, even though my producer's yelling at me, I was just like, "Don't tell him that could be content." I was like, "No, it's already doomed.
Right.
It's already doomed." Now, let's talk about the Sunday series. You guys going up against C9. We haven't talked about C9 just yet, but what's your guys' assessment going into C9? Because that team looks really good. You guys played them actually just coming into playoffs.
Yeah.
So, when you went up against them, what was your takeaway? And what's your thought process going into the series?
When we faced them, it was a 2-0, but we were in winning positions both games. We just kind of blundered and like took action when we didn't have to, and we watched that and like learned a lot from that. And also we just had like a nice warm up, so I'm pretty confident we can win.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit scared playing against them before we faced them in the regular season. But after these games, I was like, actually, they are not that scary. Like, they didn't play at all like they do in scrims. Like, in scrims, Jojo is like egoing 1v2 on us, like actually like pushing mid, like out-trading Quad. And Quad is like, wow, this guy's playing so aggressive. Why is he playing so aggressive? And then on stage, Quad just solo kills him, 20 CS up. And like, Jojo can't breathe under tower. So, I mean, that's what I expected honestly in scrims. Like,
Yeah.
I think Quad is really good at laning. So, Jojo will for sure like respect more on stage and not play as like crazy as he does in scrims, because in scrims he legit doesn't care. If he dies once, he'll die 10 times. While on stage he doesn't want to do that, so he takes way less risk. And yeah, so I felt like they didn't perform like they usually do in scrims. They picked scaling. I think we didn't really play too well with our advantages in the game, and they just outscaled us. I think Berserker played well on Zeri. That's his like main champ, and then he farmed items, and then he like kited me in the team fight. I don't know, he kind of outplayed me, so we lost the game. But yeah, I'm not like scared of them anymore. I was way more scared of them before losing to them.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing against them, and we'll see how they adapt, because I doubt they will want to play the same stuff. We'll see what they want to do.
What about you, Bucio? Because he talked about how at least they play differently in scrims than they did on stage on that day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident. Like, we can definitely win. And yeah, it's true. Like, Jojo in scrims is like full limit testing, full ego.
Yeah.
And then if Quad's just owning him, it's like we can just win easily. And yeah, I think Vulcan played 2 Braum games last time. He blinded Braum.
Yeah.
And I let him win. So that won't happen again, you
Okay.
know? Like, yeah.
It's a guarantee. You guys mentioned Quad. Quad has been insane, actually, in a lot of these
Yeah.
series. He's been playing really well.
Yeah.
The comparison between the starter split obviously is first coming in, and like you guys have been like kind of working to connect, especially you Inspired, to like work on your 2v2s. But it seems like he is night and day different from his first week, obviously, to now. How's it felt just been playing with Quad in general?
I don't know if he's night and day. I think we griefed him in the first series against Team Liquid. I think
Okay.
he was playing well. I think he didn't make too many mistakes outside of like game 1. I think after he got flash forced, like he tried to solo kill APA anyway, and then enemy just had flash advantage, so he died instead. So maybe because of that, people thought it's like he's nervous or something. But
Yeah.
for me, he was playing very well since the beginning, and it's very nice playing with him because he knows what he's supposed to do in the game, and he plays well around his support timers, his jungler timers. But I think what he can work on is just be more demanding. I think he's not demanding enough, because I think with the with the skills that he have, if he is more demanding and makes people play around him, he will carry most of the games. So I'm trying to do it right now without him needing to ask for anything. I'm just trying to make sure that he's in the best spot possible and that he can just play his game. And I think if he plays his game, he's the best mid laner in the league. So we are working on giving him the best conditions possible to play.
What was your thought process, Busio? I don't think we've ever asked you when you first came on the team, like, what were your expectations working with Quad, but also, like, just how has it been? Because at least in lane swaps, you've been connecting with him a lot just to try and find and work a gank or something.
I mean, my expectations for Quad is that he's going to have, like, trouble communicating.
Yeah.
So we might not always be on the same page, but that he's individually super skilled. And, like, his English is really good, actually. But yeah, he isn't demanding in the game like Inspired says, but like I usually play around him anyways, so it's pretty chill vibes, and he's just a really, really strong laner, and he's good in the side lane and he's good in the team fight. So yeah, as long as we set him up well, he's good and filling his expectations well. Yeah.
Domo, now you've heard all their cases about this series.
Yeah.
What's your assessment? Because they were saying a lot of stuff about the 100 Thieves Team Liquid series.
No, but I think Fly will win because honestly, at least in scrims, I felt like C9 wasn't that scary. I felt like most of their advantages just comes from laning. I think Thanatos is really good at like playing these counter matchups top and like getting a lead, but
So that's what happened. Because Jojo told me, "Oh, Impact, you are losing 200 Thieves." So you guys just like took him out in scrims. So now I see what happened.
Maybe, but yeah, I think Jojo's like a giga intern scrims. Like I think Quid completely makes fun of him every scrim. So that makes the games pretty easy. And I think Berserker, Vulcan, they don't really play for lane that much. I feel like Vulcan kind of just roams and helps Jojo. So I think Fly matches up pretty well, I'd say, against them. So.
Is there something that you've noticed from Cloud9 that they had gotten better at? Because it felt like, especially, not even just thinking about spring, moving into the summer, because I didn't expect them to be as good in lane swaps as they did when they played it. Just anything that came out to your mind about like expectation with Cloud9 versus reality?
I'm not sure. I think maybe just like a team culture thing, maybe they changed. Because I think changing like top laner doesn't really make that big a difference. But.
Yeah. Who do you think takes the series? Oh, you already said it, but what's the score?
What's the score?
Yeah.
Maybe 3-2.
Oh.
Reasonable.
I will see. Hard to say.
Yeah. I actually want to hear from you guys. It's always fun hearing from the team themselves going into the series what they think the score will be.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I can see us 3-0 them. I can see us get 3-0. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's really hard to predict that series. Like, because there is a chance that something similar will happen that happened in the regular season, that we will just like play bad and they will outskill us and we'll just lose. There's a chance that we execute these drafts well and we just honestly own them, like they will not know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. So I'd rather not make a prediction. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
If he's not going to try, Busio, you have the last word here.
Oh, yeah, 3-0 FlyQuest, of course.
There we go. Like I like promise. We're making the graphic now.
What do you like put on the line though?
Nothing. I just promise it's gonna happen.
Okay.
You know what sounds great? Bald Busio. Oh. You want it? Okay, I was close. I felt like I was close. No. I felt like I was close. All right, we tried. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining me on the podcast. This has been this week's episode, week 1 of playoffs of pros. Thank you for joining us, and take it easy. What was the first week like for you coming in?
First week?
Yeah.
First day of scrims, I wanted to make a really good impression.
Yeah.
And luckily, we had energy. So it was a bit of a farm, you know? It was a bit of a farm.
What's up, guys, and welcome to Playoffs Edition for Pros. I got Tomo, Busio, Inspired. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Reminder for you guys back at home, Pros is now available on Spotify and other podcast platforms if you're already using them. Thumbs up. Apparently you find it and we didn't even mention it. So congratulations on that one. Let's go straight into the series. Energy versus FlyQuest, that series just happened. Your guys' general thoughts. Also, Tomo, you were watching in the back.
Yeah,
We
of
had you
course.
camped out here.
Of course.
What's
You were
your
here
guys'
for all the games, Toma?
No, I arrived like after Game 4 dropped.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
What's your guys' thoughts on the series as a whole?
I mean, it wasn't the cleanest,
Mhm.
not at all. Like even that last game could have been, could have gone either way. But you know, it's like a warm up for first round of playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the end of game series interview, just because like they took game 2, the last game was also just pretty close. And you also just mentioned like just a warm up because of like just nerves. Also talking about how playoff series usually is much slower.
Yeah.
What was your assessment on the series? Was it slower than you expected?
Don't think so. I mean, I expected to 3-0 them, so that was already a bit shocking to me that we are losing the game. But yeah, I think we didn't really. I mean, we had a bad draft in game 2, and I think we were trying to make it hard for them to close out. So the way they were playing after having such a big lead, I mean, I knew there is no way we lose the series because, yeah, if we are in their shoes, we'll just finish the game really fast. But they were pretty boosted. But I don't think the game was slower. Like I didn't really feel the difference, playoffs or not playoffs. I think if the team is good, they're playing same in regular season as in playoffs. I think we were playing pretty well today when we had the lead in the game and in the draft, and we were abusing our advantages. And I think game 2 draft was pretty bad. And I think in last game, I think the swap kind of threw us off. And when the swap happens, usually the game becomes a bit chaotic, and I think they just found better angles to get the lead. So we weren't really in position to make any plays. So we were just waiting for their mistakes, and their mistakes came, and then we just came back.
Mm-hmm. How about for you, Bucio? Because you mentioned it in the interview, and also you had incredible series, you and Masu. Especially, I think it was the Bard and Ash game.
Yeah.
That you guys were finding picks constantly. And even though it was a loss, I felt like the Alistar game was also great too. You had the dive on mid lane, even though you're already you don't feel that way. But how do you feel about your performance in the series and just the series as a whole?
I mean, my performance is like all right. I think in all the games I could have. I mean, first game was like very easy win, clean. Like they didn't respond to our swap well at all. Like I don't even know what was going on. It was just free after that. Then game 2, the Alistar one. It was I had some pretty bad team fights, but it was also like a really hard game. Then game 3, Bard was pretty good. And then the 4th game, as Casper said, the swap threw us off. Or like we swapped, but we didn't respond to what happened very well. So it was a hard game. So yeah.
Tell me you were watching it.
I mean,
you got the same point of view I did watching that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty shocking, I think. I also expected that Fly Quest would 3-0, but obviously, I felt like it should have went to 5 games. I think, Pal Fox made it a bit too easy for you guys. So, yeah, honestly, it was way more of an intense series, I felt like, compared to, like, what the expectations were.
Did you feel like NRG played... Because it felt like they had improved going into the playoff series overall. Like, did you feel that they had played much better than they usually do in scrims and regular season?
No, not really. I mean, I think their players are not like complete bots, so you still have to make good decisions to win against them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to team fighting, it seems easy. Like, I think they are not really patient with their cooldowns, and they are not really keeping good positions in fights. So to me, it seems like if you are in the 50-50 position, we will just win against them. I think they had good drafts, though. I think they had decent meta read, and that's why I think the games were looking competitive.
Let's talk about it a little bit because first, let's talk lane swaps because it kind of dominated the series a little bit. It's been the case for the split as a whole, and now it's been a talking point. It's been a topic since, like, I know Azale mentioned it on the dive. Fans generally don't like lane swaps, but it feels pretty active, and we heard from like Spawn saying something about it. What are your guys' perspective on lane swap? Because you guys are definitely one of the better lane swapping teams in the league.
I mean, I think lane swap just you basically don't have to use your mechanics too much because you don't really lane, like you don't have 50-50 lanes. Usually like one side is stronger, like on one side of the map you are stronger and the other side you are weaker, so there is no really like spots where you can outplay the enemies.
Yeah.
So basically if you just make correct decisions of where you need to put your resources, you might just get ahead. So I think it just if you have better game sense than enemies, you can get the lead that way, and you don't have to rely on outplaying them. So I think it's just better for more experienced players and the ones that have like a good eye for the game and they know what to do in the moment.
Tomo, I was kind of most surprised with you because you came into 100 Thieves pretty damn late in the game. And I'm sure in Tier 2 they work on lane swaps, but probably not too much. I haven't seen it too much there.
Definitely not in Tier 2.
Yeah. And so like you come in immediately, it felt like your series versus Dignitas lane swapping knowledge was there. Did you just have to like catch up to speed? What's your view on lane swapping, especially for a player coming in and having to do a lot of catch up?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't have much time with the team, so I think the first 2 weeks in the regular season we were just playing like standard, and I guess like in the Shopify series they kind of like unexpectedly lane swaps. Like we weren't expecting it because they didn't really show it off either on stage, so that happened, but we still won the game. And then coming to playoffs, we knew that lane swapping would be a pretty big deal because if TL's doing it, then like everyone else will do it. So even though it's like a new patch, we like try to do a little bit of everything, like try new champs, try lane swaps, see what like actually works for us. And I felt like in our scrims this week, the lane swaps went pretty well. So yeah.
You guys like lane swaps? Like if you take a step back, it's one of those things where fans definitely don't like it. At least the majority of fans. It feels boring. That's the conversation. As the perspective from players, is that something that you like? Because you guys are pretty good at it. So it helps you. It comes at an advantage. But is that something, a weight of the game that you like playing?
I mean, it's cool. It's like another aspect of the game.
Yeah.
That like didn't really exist for me previously because I never played pro when like lane swaps was a thing. So it's kind of like cool to like learn about it and understand it and like see all the options. But it is at the same time kind of boring because there's no laning and like you don't get to show off like laning skills.
Yeah.
And it makes the game just a bit too scripted.
Yeah.
Like there's less room for like creative plays. It's just very fixed with what you do most of the time. So I don't really like it.
You agree with that sentiment?
I mean, for me, I even before this became meta, like last year and stuff, I was wondering why is League being played the way it was. Like, why you have to send one person top, one mid, and two bot. I was like, surely there is a better way to play the game. Like, for sure, with the champions you pick, you can do something funny in the game that will give you a lead. And then recently the lane swap happened, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Like, something for sure had to be there, because it just doesn't make sense. It's not like we are forced to go to each lane and farm minions there. Like, I feel like you can do something different. But I don't know. I think you just need to be good at reading your champions, like your team comp and enemy team comp, and who do you want to be strong on your team, and who does enemy team want to be strong on the team. And then you kind of make decisions around that. Like, where do you want to put your resources, and who do you want to get ahead, who can be behind. So for me, it's kind of exciting to play that type of game, because I think I always have a good idea on what should happen, like who should get the gold and who shouldn't, and what to do in the certain situations. So I don't know. For the jungler, it's kind of nice because there's more actions and a little bit more thinking going into the early game. Because if it's normal laning and everyone usually plays pretty safe in lane, then there's not much going on. You are just both trading full clears and then trading crabs, and you just reset and not very much happening.
Yeah.
But if this is going on, you can always like try to squeeze a little bit of an advantage, or maybe put yourself behind, but like go to one side lane where you just defend your laners, you can keep farming, and then you fall behind but your laner gets ahead, so that way he can maybe carry you. Or the other way around, you just let someone fall behind and just farm yourself, and then you hope you can carry the game. So I think it's just more interesting to play.
Yeah. And you just like the variety, the fact that you can play. And also I wanted to pick your brain, both of you guys, all of you, but mostly because in the series you said game 2 you didn't like the draft. A point that I wanted to pick out was mostly just like, when I watch FlyQuest game or a series, the most exciting thing is the counter picks that you end up going for. And the few counter picks that we ended up seeing is like Darius and Volibear with Bwipo. So kind of talk about those kind of picks that you guys have. And on top of that, did you feel like that hurt the game that you were talking about, or is it something else?
I think the counter picks are just putting more pressure on enemies because they don't really know exactly how to play their matchups, while Bwipo knows really well how to play these champs.
Yeah.
So I think it it's just advantage for us. If he feels like some champion is gonna be good in the game and he can pick it, and enemy don't have much practice against it, then on top of the fact that it's already good in the game, he will be able to play it well, and enemies don't really know exactly what he can do. So I think this type of champs just give you straight up edge in the game.
Okay. I feel like that hits it for me for this series. I kind of want to move on to your series just yesterday. And did you see any of the pregame stuff we did? Any of the expectation for that series?
It was mostly Dig favorite, right?
Well, actually,
Or-
some Dig favored, but it was most people just thought it was going to be a 5-game series. But you guys just like straight up stomped them. How did that feel for you now that you have like a day just to think about it?
Honestly, I didn't think of it much. I don't know. The games yesterday were just so easy,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. They really didn't like give up much of a fight. Yeah, I felt like we got to do everything we wanted, and they were just like AFK.
Was
Like,
there any
actually
heat
AFK.
from you coming into that series? Because we did the Player of the Week thing yesterday, and you
Yeah.
talked about how like it felt bad. Obviously, you're going up against your former team that like unjustifiably kicked you from in spring. Was that like an extra fuel that you had going into that game?
I mean, I definitely want to beat them, but I'm not gonna be like emotional when I play my game. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm always gonna be calculated and try to do my best and like what's best for the game.
Mhm.
So, like on stage, I didn't really think much of it. It's just like another opponent I have to face. But
Yeah.
obviously, it felt good to beat them at the end. But honestly, the way we did it, it was like kind of not satisfying
Mhm.
for me because, yeah, like I said before, they didn't really give up much of a fight.
What's your guys' assessment of that series? Because I'm certainly you guys are watching it.
And I didn't really watch. I just we were in scrims, and when the game 1 finished, I just saw the clip of Zeri dying to Smolder level 1.
Yeah.
So then I decided to not watch the series anymore because I knew it's gonna be 3-0. Like I expected it to be 3-0 for 100 tips.
You did.
And then when Jensen died level 1, I knew it's gonna be 3-0. Like
Yeah.
you don't mentally recover after that. And I mean, the player gap is just too big. I think like mid jungle, I think River and Quid are just so much better than
Mhm.
Dignitas. And yeah, and on top of that, I think Sniper just has better mechanics than Ricorish, so he will always like gap him. And if Sven didn't like somehow manage to carry the game, which I didn't really think he will be able to, then there was like no chance to even win a game. And that's basically what happened. Like I think their biggest strength is bot lane, and even them, they are not even that good. So I don't know who's supposed to carry the game on that team. So yeah, it happened what I was expecting to happen.
You
Yeah.
expected that before the game, before the series, I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought 100 Thieves would win.
Oh my God. Is this based off scrim knowledge? What is this based
You
off?
can read the names. Like, Scream knowledge, bro.
That's actually crazy because like a lot of us, there's always, at least from the fan base and in myself, I'm going to put myself out there. It's like you have this faith that the players that have done it in the past can do it again, or at least like level up. Actually, Licorice to the NA Men podcast ended up talking about just like needing to improve their practice habits, their team culture. Because of course,
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
mentioned their scrims.
Yeah.
So, if you can speak to that, but most importantly, like, have you guys been in that position before where you're on a team that didn't have that team culture or like a lackadaisical practice habits? You guys ever had that?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like every team can improve their practice habits.
Yeah.
I mean, Dig and scrims is like a whole nother beast. Like I remember at the start they had a no FF rule, and it was
Yeah.
just like it was sad. It was really sad.
Oh, damn.
But then recently I don't remember the last time we scrimmed them.
Man, they were trying, but I mean, if you want to be good in scrims, you first of all need to be good. Like, you can't just expect to play well in scrims.
It's just a
when you're
lost
bad.
cause for them.
Like, I have never had this situation. I think every team I was on, I had like 80% win ratio in scrims, like losing maybe going even against like second best team or like best team in the league.
Yeah.
So I never really had an issue with trying harder in scrims
Mhm.
because it's the scrims are always so easy, very easy. Like when I was on Rogue, we were winning most of our scrims. Then on EG, we were also winning most of our scrims. On FlyQuest, I think last split we were winning most of our scrims. Right now we are like losing to Cloud9 or Team Liquid like half games. So right now I guess we don't beat everyone.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't never really an issue for me. But yeah, as I said, I think Dignitas saying that they are not trying in scrims is just cope. Like bro, like are you trying on stage or what? Like they're just not that good. I mean, it's not like they are bots. They know what to do, but to me it seems like they don't really have a game plan as a team. They
Yeah.
just all play, and then eventually something bad happens, and then they can't play the game anymore, and they just collapse. But when I'm watching them play, they don't really have a team direction, I guess.
Tomo, you've been in quite a few teams. You were on. Technically, when FlyQuest brought you in, they brought you in as like an entire ensemble, like from the academy side, right?
Yeah.
So they brought you in from that. Then you were on Dignitas and 100 Thieves. You've been on multiple teams. Like your experience in a practice environment where people aren't taking it seriously. I ask because, at least from you, asking you this question, there's always the conversation about like EU being like very critical and trying to get people to take things seriously or like get on the point, get to the point. Like conflict, like creating conflict or conflict aversion, like moving away from that. Have you had that experience where people are trying to avoid conflict and that's just making the practice environment kind of iffy?
I guess I've had like a mix of both. I think you definitely need conflicts in a team, but also like you also have to have fun, you know? I think I've been on teams where there was just like a lot of stress going on. Like we have to play a certain way. If we lose, like we're, you know, like,
yeah.
but like recently on 100 Thieves, like everything's been really relaxed. Everyone's just vibing, having a really good time. And I think this is like the best team environment I've ever been on. I think everyone's just able to speak their mind because everyone like trusts each other. And yeah, I mean, so far my experience has been really good. And I think that's mostly due to like our team culture.
Yeah.
Like our coaches are really like Mimi. They like to have fun. You can play weird picks in scrims sometimes. Like they allow a lot of stuff. And I think we also have a lot of Zoomers on the team. So it also helps with that. Like they naturally, you know, are really energetic and want to like make a scene, I guess.
Yeah. What was the first week like for you coming in?
First week.
Yeah.
First day of scrims. I wanted to make a really good impression.
Yeah.
And luckily we had energy. So it was a bit of a farm, you know. It was a bit of a farm. Yeah. So the first week of scrims were actually we did really well in scrims. You know, I think a lot of people said 100 Thieves did really bad in scrims, but we had a really positive record our first week, and then I think our strength of schedule for the stage matches were IMT and Shopify. So
yeah,
I was pretty confident when I subbed in that like I would do pretty well, you know, at least in the regular season. And I think, I don't know, everyone's just been playing really well since I've joined. So,
what do you guys think? Because I remember beginning of the split for 100 Thieves was hard as hell. It was not a good look, but obviously they've changed pretty significantly. And you said it was like the kind of like a name gap thing, like just seeing 100 Thieves. How do you feel about them?
It was a bit unlucky for 100 Thieves that in Spring Split they finished high up because I knew they are really bad, but they just got really lucky.
Yeah. Fake info.
So they decided to not make roster changes. And then going into Summer Split, like I knew they were gonna be really bad again, but they just didn't get lucky anymore. So it was basically a free win against them. And why is because I think their bot lane was just absolute useless in every game. Like their mid jungle were trying to play the game, but they just couldn't do anything. And because one of your lanes were just not really participating much in the game. Like even when they pick winning lanes, they were not really playing to win or playing around them. And when they were playing like scaling lanes, they were just losing lane too hard that mid jungle couldn't really play the game. So the only way they could play is just, that's what I was thinking they would do, like pick Ziggs or something like that, let support roam and try to gank mid and get mid on like scaling champion that could outscale and carry the team fights. But they didn't even do that. Like their draft approaches, I think they played like they didn't realize what was their problems. And in the end, they just decided to make a roster change. So, I mean, the moment they announced it, I felt like, okay, I mean, maybe now there will be a better team. Like I didn't know how much Tomo is going to change it, but I mean, I thought that it will just get better for them because it's also like when you're losing and you make a roster change, you have like
a honeymoon period.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew that they're for sure gonna be at least a bit better, maybe a lot better. Like hard to tell, but from what I'm watching right now, it's like it's a way better team. Basically, I think they have direction in the game and they're trying to play for something.
Lucio?
Yeah, I mean, agreed. You know, I think Tomo's better than Meech, and also like having someone fresh come in, definitely makes a team like revitalize. And also like just seeing 100 Thieves play without Tomo previously, it was like their bot lane was their biggest weakness for sure. So Tomo coming in definitely saved them. Yeah.
Let's take a step back then. because this was a topic that I think was brought on pre-show, but I think a lot of people feel this way a lot of people predict Team Liquid just to be like the team that wins it all, and obviously you guys will think differently. But what chances do you guys think, like Team Liquid or the field? Is Team Liquid just that good? Because that's a question that's on a lot of people's mind.
No,
I don't think so. No.
they're good, but I think anyone from the top 3 can win.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Team Liquid's significantly better than us or C9.
Yeah, I wanna be
what about
funny.
the top
I wanna
four,
be
though?
funny and say that 100 teams might take them out. Honestly, like,
Yeah. What
like-
about the top 4 though?
like right now,
Don't forget about me.
maybe.
I have a
You'll be in
feeling
there.
that something's gonna happen in that series.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. Like,
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I just have
I
a
mean,
feeling that
yeah.
something's gonna happen there. Like I can see Umti like running down game 1, like River and Quid just carry, then like their confidence gets a bit low. Like Impact gets tilted because he's like winning top so hard, but he lost the game. And then I can see them something, maybe some upset.
Tom was like, what
Yeah, I
here?
mean, personally, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I think TL's definitely like not unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely showed weaknesses in regular season, and obviously they're like undefeated, quote unquote. Split is like not really real because
Yeah.
they dropped games. So
What would you say is their greatest strength and their greatest weakness coming into this one? And I'm sure Tomos all ears for this one.
well, for me, I think it's just they were really fast at learning how to lane swap. Obviously, they have like core and impact, so they have a lot of experiences with
Yeah.
that. And I think the rest of the league was like trying to catch up on how they would like play the lane swaps. And I think with everyone like learning how to lane swap now is going to be a lot easier to play against them.
I don't think lane swaps is that big of a strength. I think their strength is that Corrigi is really good at keeping tempo in the game, and seems to me like I never heard anything they say in the game, but seems to me that Umti and Corrigi are really good they're really good playing together on the same page, and they always have tempo in the game over enemy mid jungle or like jungle support, and they always know to which side they're supposed to play. So basically, mid and AD of their team has like a really free game. Like they basically don't have to think; they just turn their brain off and just play the game. From what I'm watching, and so basically like Core and Umti are gapping everyone. That's why this team is like playing really well. But I think if they get matched in the even game, like they don't really get the lead by their game knowledge, I think their mechanics are not that high. Like I think they can easily get outplayed in the team fights when the game is even when you are behind. I feel like you can kind of bait them in the bad fights. Like when I played against them, even though we're like a little bit behind, I still felt like I might bait them into bad fight, and I managed to do that the last time we played against them. So I think just team fighting is not their best strength. Like I think their AD and mid don't have to play the game, so sometimes they just make mechanical mistakes.
Yeah.
But usually they're just looking really good because they're just put in a great position just from jungle and support. So yeah, I think if you manage to match the early game, not fall too far behind, like I wouldn't be scared of that team going into team fights.
Any other weakness you see from them, Busio?
I mean, I'm on the same team as him, so like I share the same opinion. I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Any other weaknesses? No, I mean it's kind of
You
the
pretty
same
much said
thing:
it.
strengths, macro, weakness,
Yeah.
mechanics, and maybe team fighting. Yeah.
I want to talk about the patch a little bit because we're first on it. 14.16, pretty heavy changes. Nerfs to AD carries, buffs to mages, death timers got changed, Senna changes. There's a lot to consume. Feels like you guys immediately had the first statement with like quads playing Azir, Orianna. Like there are a lot more mages coming in. So like for you guys, what's your thought process on the patch change? Is it fake? Is it a placebo? I'll start with you, Busio.
I mean, it's definitely real. Like now that AP mids are legal, you know, the responses to those AP mids are also AP
mids.
or AD. But then that also makes the jungle pick potentially AD. So the meta is probably way more fun now for mid and junglers because they have like two options.
True.
Rather than just like the same trades every single game. But a lot of the champs from last patch are still viable. And then with this Senna, in our series it was banned every single game.
Yeah, it's looking pretty OP.
But,
like her win rate and her healing.
She heals for a lot. And also she doesn't have to go that build. You know, there's options, so it's like that champ's definitely something, yeah.
You've been playing much of it at all?
I've been playing a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah. What's your assessment of it? Because it looks weird as hell when I'm seeing a Black Cleaver and Echoes of Healy on a Senna. Obviously, it's optimal.
Black
it looks
Cleaver
like
is
it.
overbuy. I played it in Soki. I was running it down in peace, but I was healing so much.
Yeah.
With Echoes of Helia and then Moonstone second.
Yeah.
That was so pretty. Like,
Or Ardent second. It's
no,
decent.
don't buy
No,
it.
no. It's
I mean,
decent, it's
you could
decent.
build like
You get that
literally
attack
anything on
speed.
center, like whatever
Anything.
center item, and like you could build like Bruiser as well if you want. I think center definitely has more options than Lethality, and for me at least, it feels more fun to play as well.
Yeah.
Just because like you're not really like squishy, but you're like really annoying if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Where like you could waste a lot of the enemy team's time, and then your Q just heals for like, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think center's definitely strong. I don't know how high her prio is because obviously it's a new patch and I haven't played that many scrims on it.
Yeah.
So
Is your sense that she's broken, like overall?
Usually the champions that have healing are broken. So
Yeah, that might be the case. Another thing that I want to talk on that was actually touched on a little bit here, which is the fact that we're seeing more AP mages mid means that you have a little bit more flexibility. You've been flexible throughout the split, it feels like. You played, pretty sure you had a Kindred game alongside all your AP mids and AP jungle games and an Ivern game. How do you feel like some of these changes will impact you?
I don't know. I mean, usually in the draft I can pick early, I can pick late, and I can pick AD, pick AP, pick a tank. I don't know. The changes don't really impact me, I guess, that much. I usually just pick what's the best for the team and the team comp. So I don't know. Not really affected by the patch, I guess.
Okay. So you think it just hasn't really, because you have been unimpeded, it seems like. But how about yourself, just like talking through some of the changes? Because at least the nerfs to ADs are pretty heavy just because we've had an AD mid meta or sometimes AD top for a long time. Like Doran's Blade got nerfed, Blade of the Rune King got nerfed. Tomo, that's your career right there.
I mean, honestly, I think it affects the mid lane ADCs way more than bot lane.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really feel it as much, but it'll definitely change like matchups like mages versus ADC for mid, because you lose like 20 health, you know. So it's pretty big for that, but it's like a pretty even playing field, I guess, for bot lane. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say it changes that much. For
So you
me.
guys-
He's saying bot lane is unskilled, basically. Like
No, I mean, bot lane is weak.
losing HP in bot lane is so unskilled that bot lane is so unskilled that losing HP doesn't actually change the lane. While
Yeah.
in mid lane, you are like constantly trading, like have to auto space enemy mid laner with ADC, and then if you have less health than a mage, then you just lose lane. But in bot lane, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
like,
matter.
You're just, like so easy lane, like 2v2, just push away from, catch away from base. Yeah.
What's funny is because my fear when I saw that change, I was like, are we just going to see like Seraphine, Taric kind of bot lanes now?
Oh, no.
like, I was like, that's my question.
Ooh, Sama Taric actually?
I'm saying, like, is the life of an AD carry? Do you feel like the patch did its job, or are AD carries a little hurting right now? Because it's a fresh patch, so I feel like a lot of people are learning.
8 carries are chilling for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
chilling, bro.
They're chilling.
Yeah.
We do not need to whip
I'm
out the
chilling.
Seraphine quite yet.
I saw a glisten here. Do you want the Seraphine or do you not want that stuff?
I don't know. It's fun for a bit, but if it's like way too broken or you can't play other things, then it's not fun. But
Yeah.
if there's just variety, like that's always the most fun meta when you can play many different things and you can just play what suits you.
True. I want to look ahead to some of the matches that we're going to be like previewing going forward. I feel like that's going to be a lot of focus from people going into the next week. We will be on Friday starting with NRG and Dignitas, and this is for you guys at home. I don't know which camera it is. We're going to be going Fridays every week. So Friday is going to be the new time right now. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but going on to the next week, it's going to be Friday, NRG, Dignitas. Let's start previewing that. And I want to hear your thoughts, Tomo, just simply because when I thought Energy Dignitas, maybe it's just my brain lagging. I was like, all right, Tomo, it's like, that's your squad. No, but Energy Dig, what's your thoughts on that series?
It's
Energy's
definitely
looking
gonna
better.
be, yeah. But honestly, I don't know. I think it'll be a close series. I think maybe the meta will adapt a bit more because right now I think we're mostly just seeing like Azir as the mage.
Yeah.
But I think Palafox definitely better like on the mages than on the ADCs, and so is Jensen. So maybe if it develops into that meta, maybe Jensen has like more of a shot. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but yeah, it's a toss up for me.
You guys think it's going to be close?
I mean, I don't know. Dig looked so dead. in their last
that's
series,
true.
as Tomo
True.
said. So like,
Yeah.
if they're not
Maybe
dead,
that's their wake up call, you know?
yeah, maybe
never
now
know.
they're like super motivated.
Now they're gonna be
Now
so
they're gonna be
tryhard
good
in
in
scrims.
scrims.
Oh my god! I hope we're screaming them this week. Holy. It will be
Make the
so good
request.
practice.
Make the request. Because like it's hard for me to believe that this is how it would end for Dignitas this split.
Oh,
It's really hard for me to believe that they would just like go out whimpering and not make this series competitive. Like, what would be your angle for Dignitas if they were to take this series? Like, how do you think they should be playing? Because it feels like they're a little bit all over the place.
I don't know. They just need to like.
We need to lock in.
Yeah, they
need
just
to
need
try
to
and
lock
scrim.
We need to lock in.
For one, try and scrims.
Okay.
But like I don't know. In their last years, they just looked dead. Like,
Yeah.
bad things happened early game. Some of the games were getting a bit bloody later. To be honest, I only watched the early games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Like-
say I felt like they had a pretty bad meta read. I felt like every draft we played was just like winning on
Yeah.
our end. So yeah, maybe they should have some better drafts and they'll be good.
That might just be the answer.
They'll adjust.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Energy side though, it's weird because I felt like they did pretty well at the very tail end of things when they were playing like Ivern, Braum, double AD carry, like Kiteback. Like that's what it felt like. Okay, they still ended up losing that series versus the Dignitas in the regular season, but like they had leads. If you were to make a prediction on this series, who do you guys think would take it? I wouldn't say the score, but like if you want to add that, I'll start with you, Busio, since I already had you.
Let's go.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know, but I mean, I guess I'll go NRG.
Yeah.
But like, it can really be anyone.
Is it energy from both of you guys too?
Yeah, I think Energy will win like 3-1 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Dignitas need to do? At least for you. To impress you on this one.
I don't know, bro. I mean, maybe swap. I mean, maybe they should just swap every game and try to hope that Energy will not adapt well or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think Energy is not that great at swapping.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they should do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they feel like is working for them. I'm not sure what their players are good at. I
Yeah.
mean, Jensen is good at mages, so maybe he should play some mages.
Okay.
And yeah, last time I was talking with him at the content we did, I was telling him that he should play Hwei on Rihanna, and
Yeah.
he decided to play AD, so he lost. So maybe
might
now
be
he will
swap.
be back to Hwei on Rihanna. We'll see.
Smolder was pretty scary level
Yeah,
one.
Smolder level 1 power spike took him out.
Felt like they were at their best with he was at his best with Zir, Hui, all that. Let's go to the next series because you're saying energy as well, just because I also forgot about
Yeah,
it.
it should be energy.
Okay. Saturday is going to be Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves, so that's going to be you on the line. You're already probably thinking about that series. Actually, going to go to you since you've thought about it a little bit. What's your thought going into that series?
Just play good. I don't know. There's not much to it. I feel like we've been ramping up pretty well. Just like in scrims and on stage, I felt like we're pretty comfortable. But obviously, they're a really good team. But we shouldn't be scared of them. You know, I think we should respect them, but we shouldn't be like scared of what they're gonna do. I think our players, like, we tend to get it into our like heads a bit if like we think we're not confident. So yeah, just like play well and don't like think too much about it. I think.
'Cause I remember in the Player of the Week interview, you did end up talking about how the toughest bot lane you faced was Jan and Core JJ. Pretty sure that was your answer. Going into that bot lane, just like, what's your thought going into them? Because they've been performing really well. We haven't talked about All Pro, but I'm assuming they're probably going to be top on that one. So your assessment going into that duo with Ayla.
Honestly, I think them as a bot lane, like 2-2, I'm not too worried. I just felt like last playoffs when I played against them, they kind of just took over the map. I felt like we just got out macroed more so than like out laned. So yeah, I'm not too worried in the 2-2 specifically.
You said 100 Thieves might do this funniest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Team Liquid will win, and I think they will win 3-1. But I can see like them having a bad day and the series going really close. But I hope they will win. Like, I don't want Team Liquid to lose and then Under Thieves goes Worlds. Like, I don't want to see
Why
that.
not?
Like, no.
Why not?
Like, for the
But wouldn't
better
it be
for
funny to see
America.
Tailwind
Like, I don't
and
want to see that.
lowers?
What do you think, Busio?
I think Team Liquid will win.
Okay, but
I don't
like,
think it's gonna be like a 3-0 or anything. Maybe
Alright.
like Tomo seems pretty
Yeah, I
confident.
think-
Like I
Come on,
believe in you,
Tomo,
bro.
convince these guys.
I believe in you.
There is
but,
no
like,
way it's gonna be a stomp. I don't think so. I think it will be like I think Team Liquid will have to work for it. I think they will have to work for
We'll
it.
make them work
Make
for
them
it.
work,
We'll
yeah.
make them work
come
for
on,
it.
make your case.
I
If it's
mean,
gonna
I
be
don't
done,
know. Just
how's it gonna
play
be done?
well. Just play well. Like you're a good team, but you
I
just
agree.
need to
Yeah.
play better.
If
I
you
don't
want to
know.
win, you
There's-
just need to play well. Like
just play
what
well.
else can you do?
Yeah.
Tomo, you just need to emote on them.
You want them?
That's actually
Like
true.
one person emoting, that's strong. But like
Oh, that's
two
true, that's
people,
true.
they won't be able to focus.
You guys should just adopt whatever the hell Sniper doing up top lane. Like anytime he just gets a solo kill,
He's
there's an
different,
emote
bro.
there.
On
And
stage, he's different.
Yeah?
He always gets solo kills somehow.
somehow it
Yeah.
happens. Like, okay, before I move on, because like you already made your case and just play well. Playing with Sniper, how has that been on the team? Because like there are some characters on the team, it feels like they just have a lot of energy. They're there.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
thought?
sometimes I forget that Sniper is 17. Like he literally just joined the league.
Mhm.
He's definitely uncultured in a lot of stuff, and like when we try to explain some stuff, he's like giggly and like confused, and it's pretty funny. Like one time I showed him like the scary maze, you know?
Oh yeah, that was on Twitter.
I posted
Yeah,
on Twitter the scary maze. He's never played it before.
yeah.
Caught on camera, he like jump scared, like out of his seat when I showed him. It was pretty funny.
That's an old ass game, by the way. I feel like I played that when I was in school. How the hell do you know about it?
Everyone knows about it.
Do you guys know about it?
Yeah, I saw it before.
What
Okay.
game? I've no scary
It's like
maze.
the scary maze. It's like the maze, and when you get to the, I'm just spoiling it for you now. When you
Okay.
get to the tail end of it,
Yeah, you rather have your headset off.
Huh?
You rather have your headset off when you're playing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been warned.
we've already warned you. So unfortunately, even though my producer's yelling at me, I was just like, "Don't tell him that could be content." I was like, "No, it's already doomed.
Right.
It's already doomed." Now, let's talk about the Sunday series. You guys going up against C9. We haven't talked about C9 just yet, but what's your guys' assessment going into C9? Because that team looks really good. You guys played them actually just coming into playoffs.
Yeah.
So, when you went up against them, what was your takeaway? And what's your thought process going into the series?
When we faced them, it was a 2-0, but we were in winning positions both games. We just kind of blundered and like took action when we didn't have to, and we watched that and like learned a lot from that. And also we just had like a nice warm up, so I'm pretty confident we can win.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit scared playing against them before we faced them in the regular season. But after these games, I was like, actually, they are not that scary. Like, they didn't play at all like they do in scrims. Like, in scrims, Jojo is like egoing 1v2 on us, like actually like pushing mid, like out trading Quad. And Quad is like, wow, this guy's playing so aggressive. Why is he playing so aggressive? And then on stage, Quad just solo kills him, 20 CS up. And like, Jojo can't breathe under tower. So, I mean, that's what I expected honestly in scrims. Like,
Yeah.
I think Quad is really good at laning. So, Jojo will for sure like respect more on stage and not play as like crazy as he does in scrims, because in scrims he legit doesn't care. If he dies once, he'll die 10 times. While on stage he doesn't want to do that, so
Yeah.
he takes way less risk. And yeah, so I felt like they didn't perform like they usually do in scrims. They picked scaling. I think we didn't really play too well with our advantages in the game, and they just outscaled us. I think Berserker played well on Zeri. That's his like main champ, and then he farmed items, and then he like kited me in the team fight. I don't know, he kind of outplayed me, so we lost the game. But yeah, I'm not like scared of them anymore. I was way more scared of them before losing to them.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing against them, and we'll see how they adapt, because I doubt they will want to play the same stuff. We'll see what they want to do.
What about you, Busio? Because he talked about how at least they play differently in scrims than they did on stage on that day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident. Like, we can definitely win. And yeah, it's true. Like, Jojo in scrims is like full limit testing, full ego.
Yeah.
And then if Quad's just owning him, it's like we can just win easily. And yeah, I think Vulcan played 2 Braum games last time. He blinded Braum.
Yeah.
And I let him win. So that won't happen again.
Okay.
You know? Like, yeah.
It's a guarantee. You guys mentioned Quad. Quad has been insane, actually, in a lot of these
Yeah.
series. He's been playing really well.
Yeah.
The comparison between the starter split obviously is first coming in, and like you guys have been like kind of working to connect, especially you Inspired, to like work on your 2v2s. But it seems like he is night and day different from his first week, obviously, to now. How's it felt just been playing with Quad in general?
I don't know if he's night and day. I think we griefed him in the first series against Team Liquid. I think
Okay.
he was playing well. I think he didn't make too many mistakes outside of like game one. I think after he got flash forced, like he tried to solo kill APA anyway, and then enemy just had flash advantage, so he died instead. So maybe because of that, people thought it's like he's nervous or something. But for me, he was playing very well since the beginning, and it's very nice playing with him because he knows what he's supposed to do in the game, and he plays well around his support timers, his jungler timers. But I think what he can work on is just be more demanding. I think he's not demanding enough because I think with the skills that he have, if he is more demanding and makes people play around him, he will carry most of the games. So I'm trying to do it right now without him needing to ask for anything. I'm just trying to make sure that he's in the best spot possible and that he can just play his game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he plays his game, he's the best mid laner in the league. So we are working on giving him the best conditions possible to play.
What was your thought process, Bucio? I don't think we've ever asked you when you first came on the team, like, what were your expectations working with Quad, but also, like, just how has it been? Because at least in lane swaps, you've been connecting with him a lot just to try and find and work a gank or something.
I mean, my expectations for Quad is that he's going to have like trouble communicating.
Yeah.
So we might not always be on the same page, but that he's individually super skilled. And like his English is really good, actually. But yeah, he isn't demanding in the game, like Inspired says, but like I usually play around him anyways. So it's pretty chill vibes. And he's just a really, really strong laner. And he's good in the side lane and he's good in the team fight. So yeah, as long as we set him up well, he's good and filling his expectations well, yeah.
Domo, now you've heard all their cases about this series.
Yeah.
What's your assessment? Because they were saying a lot of stuff about the 100 Thieves Team Liquid series.
No, but I think Fly will win because honestly, at least in scrims, I felt like C9 wasn't that scary. I felt like most of their advantages just comes from laning. I think Thanatos is really good at like playing these counter matchups top and like getting a lead, but
So
like
that's what happened. Because Jojo told me, "Oh, Impact, you are losing 200 Thieves." So you guys just like took him out in scrims. So now I see what happened.
maybe. But yeah, I think Jojo's like a giga intern scrims. Like I think quit completely makes fun of him every scrim. So
Oh my God.
that makes the games pretty easy. And I think Berserker, Vulcan, they don't really play for lane that much. I feel like Vulcan kind of just roams and helps Jojo. So I think Fly matches up pretty well, I'd say, against them. So
Is there something that you've noticed from Cloud9 that they had gotten better at? Because it felt like, especially, not even just thinking about spring, moving into the summer, because I didn't expect them to be as good in lane swaps as they did when they played it. Just anything that came out to your mind about like expectation with Cloud9 versus reality?
I'm not sure. I think maybe just like a team culture thing, maybe they changed. Because I think changing like top laner doesn't really make that big a difference. But
Yeah. Who do you think takes the series? Oh, you already said it, but what's
Yeah.
the score?
What's the score?
Yeah.
Maybe 3-2.
Oh,
Reasonable.
I will see.
too.
Hard to say.
yeah. I actually want to hear from you guys. It's always fun hearing from the team themselves going into the series what they think the score will be.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I can see us 3-0 them. I can see us get 3-0. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's really hard to predict that series. Like, because there is a chance that something similar will happen that happened in the regular season, that we will just like play bad and they will outskill us and we'll just lose. There's a chance that we execute these drafts well and we just honestly own them, like they will not know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to predict what's gonna happen. So I'd rather not make a prediction. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
If he's not going to try, Bucio, you have the last word here.
Oh, yeah, 3-0 FlyQuest, of
Yeah.
course.
There we go. Like I
Promise.
like promise. We're making the graphic now.
What do you like put on the line? though?
Nothing. I just promise it's gonna
Oh,
happen.
okay.
You know
Don't
what
even put
sounds
anything.
great? Bald Bucio. Oh, you want it? Okay, I was close. I felt like I was close. I felt like I was close. All right, we tried. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining me on the podcast. This has been this week's episode, week 1 of playoffs of pros. Thank you for joining us, and take it easy.
We come to this place for magic, to the Riot Games arena, to laugh, to cry, to care. Because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get when the lights begin to dim and we go somewhere we've never been before, not just entertained, but somehow reborn, together. Dazzling images on a huge LED screen, sound that I can feel. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Our players feel like the best part of us, and stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here they are, the LCS. We make playoffs better.
Hit out. Ulting.
Yep.
I flashed out.
We win here. EM4. Look, Poppy.
I have ulti still. I still have ulti, okay?
Yeah, look.
Keep going if you can.
Yeah, I'm nothing. I'm nothing.
He might get snared. He's snared.
It's all you guys.
Nothing. I have ulti if you want.
Ori flash? No, right?
No flash,
Ori no flash. Look for her.
I'm looking at Zed.
Zin.
Yeah, looking
AD
at
after.
That's it.
Wait,
AD? I can shield you.
Which here?
It's just bank.
It's just bank, I think.
Nice drop, guys. My champ's really
Your
balanced.
champ is really balanced. We kind of fisted them early, no?
Big Jokes is just vegan, no?
Yeah,
I started the lane with 100 HP, and this guy couldn't lane. Freak.
I'm tanking.
Yeah.
I have
One
shield
more?
for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice guy.
Okay.
Okay. They're going.
TPing?
I can only hit Sedge. Okay, kill Sedge.
It's not good.
It's not good now.
Like a rebel?
Yeah.
Turret's gone.
I have nothing.
Should we kill?
No, nothing.
Round.
Sedge no flash. Going flash.
Front. I got stun after.
Oh.
Let's get out after.
Yeah, can you guys...
It's just this guy.
Overkill, but you know what? Energy. They get stomped in the game 1. They're going to stomp them right back in game 2, and the series is tied 1-1.
Come back a bit. I can't enter right now. Look at Vi. Vi's walking up too far.
Watch out MF after.
Yeah.
Watch out MF.
Brawl no flash.
Lily no flash? Okay, that's that.
It goes over to Spica. The rest of Energy now have to fight through the bullet time as he gets interrupted by Huhi. Spica now finds himself in the back line. Licorice all out on FPI, brings him in isolation and takes him down. The rest of Energy are forced to run.
Quay no flash in!
Quay no flash in!
Look, Quay.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Nice.
Big.
I'm looking on this guy.
Yeah, this guy's just griefing.
Watch Hedge after.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sedge.
Popping
Poppy
off.
long.
Run away.
Yeah, you have a
slow,
TP up here.
Very slow.
Okay. When they walk here,
Okay, I'm going now.
Okay, looking.
Walk up. I'm getting
walking.
Look.
Zeri! Hell yeah!
Okay.
Palafox, Dokla, and FBI. Can they pull out the Hail Mary? Spica sends it. Palafox is blown up. Dokla with the slicing maelstrom only finds one. It's it. Dignitas will push through. They dig deeper. They will bleed it out. But Dignitas will not throw this season away.
Welcome to the LCS waiting room after a banger series. We have Dignitas treats here. I feel like because you won.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Had you not clutched it out, I don't know if you'd have the mood to show up today.
I don't know if I could actually show up today. I mean, yesterday I think I aged like 5 years. So I'm an old man today here at the desk.
Wait, how was it? Okay, the last game had to be the most insane to be in that room. How was it for you, that roller coaster of like, oh, we got it, we threw it, we got it, we threw it?
I mean, I don't know what to say. I was just like, yeah, it's just lost. Like, pack it up. Like, it's probably just GG, the split's over. Like, I'm just going to go home to Sweden, I guess. But then, I mean, obviously it was insane that we came back after the Elder and the Baron. I was like, Jesus, we actually found a way to win this. So it was like a massive relief, to be honest.
Nice.
How's the energy moving forward? You actually have a relatively quick turnaround. Next Friday, you guys play again.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on obviously today's series. We play the loser of today's series. So it's going to be interesting to watch as well. But I think the mood is better in general, and especially coming off the week of scrims. We had a pretty good week of scrims, I would say. So we were confident against NRG. We didn't quite show a perfect level of gameplay, I would say. But it is what it is. We came out on top, so we take those.
Actually, because like just following up on that one, I guess it's been like the full split narrative about like Dignitas scrims, and then hearing that this week has been like a big improvement and kind of a little bit of why, what you guys have been focusing on. Could you like tell me what has been the process like this week behind the scenes a little bit?
I think a lot of it came down to kind of being like, okay, now our backs are against the wall. Like we really screwed up the last series, 0-3 against 100 Thieves. So I think it was kind of refiguring out what we want to do in scrims and kind of what direction we want to take. So I think in general, the direction we took was better. I don't think we're like a perfect team by any means still, but I think that everyone just put kind of more effort and unified in a single direction. So I think that's the biggest improvement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to the series next week.
Yeah.
Gauntlet runs are always pretty fun. If
Lower
you can make it
brackets.
happen. It's definitely possible to make it through the lower bracket. Also, the end of the regular season means the LCS awards, but also the Challengers League are also recognizing their next generation of talent.
With the end of the regular split, the voting has begun for the Summer Split Awards. Each role will have their top 3 performers honored in the All-Pro teams. The player who had the best performance in their first split of Challengers League competition will earn themselves the Rookie of the Split Award. The most improved player has shown the most growth of anyone in the league in the summer split, and we've seen a number of players show marked improvement this year. And lastly, the most coveted award, the most valuable prospect. It's awarded to a player who could play in LCS now and would look even better in their second year. Many of the previous winners like Dokla, Lucio, and Masu have gone on to be fan favorites in the LCS. And for the first time ever, we might have a repeat winner. Players, casters, and co-streamers will be submitting their ballots. Who do you think deserves to be recognized? With full Fearless Best of Fives right around the corner, always remember, the future of the LCS starts right after the LCS.
Tune into that after this, but it's going to be hopefully 5 games from now.
Yeah.
Let's check out the bracket and also explain the format, because Treats, I think you said something incorrect a few minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
You only play the loser if the loser is 100 Thieves.
Oh, that is true.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Because the lower seed, you play the lower seeded loser of the 2 upper bracket games.
So if there's an upset somehow and 100 Thieves moves on or something, then
You'll play the loser of tomorrow's series.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I did not know that, but I'm glad you guys clarified.
Yeah, there we go.
I just get told who I'm playing, and then we prep for that, so I'm not the best person to ask.
Yeah, also an interesting note for the next 2 series that we're going to be having on Saturday and Sunday, because the winner of both these series go to the winner bracket final. That's going to mean the lowest they can finish is 3rd.
True.
And top 3 teams go to Worlds.
Yep.
So the winner of today's series does actually qualify for the World Championship. And also a reminder, that Dig series that will be either 100 Thieves or the loser of FlyQuest C9 is going to be on Friday.
Yep. Friday.
Remember that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got bonus LCS here in the playoffs. And we saw the video on the NACL Awards. We have a lot of the LCS awards.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Team Liquid on these awards.
Yep.
A lot of Team Liquid on these awards. So coaching staff of the split often does go to the first place team. This is very well deserved, I think. I think it's a nice call out to coaches, which are definitely some people who get a little recognition most of the time.
Yeah. How
do you feel about the coaching staff split? Because it's always been a point of contention. This one is like very legitimate based off of just how good of how strong of a macro this team has had. But like, just generally feeling, how have you felt about the award? Because like, it's always been a question about like, first place team usually gets it.
Yeah, I think it's always tricky to know. Even I don't know how good their coaching staff is or how good other coaching staffs are. So I think it's very hard to judge. But like you said, I think you have to go for something. And I think in general, TL has a very strong direction, good mid game, and like good fundamentals. So I think it's well deserved. I think Spawn has done a great job with this team in general. So it's deserved, but it's also kind of hard to tell, to be honest.
What do you find to be most valuable in a coach coming in, like as a former player, having been coached, now coming in as a coach, like pretty heavily? What's something that you value most of the coaching staff?
I think a lot of it comes down to like unifying your team and having a clear direction and kind of everyone buying in on what you're selling as a coach. I think a lot of it comes down to kind of being, I guess, like an emotional role figure for the team in general. I think, especially on Dignitas with a lot of veterans, it's kind of like everyone knows how they want to play. We just have to make sure that we do the same thing. So maybe Jensen thinks we should play one way, and then Sven thinks another, and it's kind of the job as coaches to say we're playing this way and hoping for the best in that regard. So it's a lot about direction and kind of emotional stability, I would say.
If you can answer, what's the most difficult thing you've had to face as a coach with this Dignitas team?
There's a lot of things that have been difficult. Obviously, it's also my first time coaching full-time, so it's just difficult from that perspective too. I think in general, it's probably been how to like maximize scrims. I think with a lot of veterans too, it's hard to convince them that scrims are always a place where you can learn. I think obviously everyone tries hard in scrims, right? It's not about that. It's just about maximizing every little thing that you can get from scrims. And just in terms of drafts too, like maximizing drafts and maximizing picks you want to play on stage. So I think that's been probably the biggest struggle so far.
Yeah. And hopefully you get to coach for many more weeks. Not just an additional 5 days.
Too.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with the rest of the bracket. Let's check out more TL awards, though. They also managed to win Most Improved Player, and this was Most Improved Player of the Year. I'd say the actual criteria is definitely left open to interpretation, but it is hard to argue about this guy's ability to improve across the year.
Yeah, I think the second player that he might have been up against, and he had kind of more of a downward trend in summer only, was Quid, who will be his opponent today. But the biggest thing about APA is that even when he came into the league, people were like, he has such a good work ethic. If only he can get up to like LCS level. And I think the biggest thing that's paid off for him is seeing how much of a grinder he is and how willing he is to take feedback, and how he has taken that feedback across multiple areas of the game, which I think have validated a lot of things that people said about him initially, even if they weren't high on like his actual mechanics.
Yeah, it's just night and day a difference between being seen as like 8th of 8th mid laners last year, being brought in haphazardly, of course, because of the own internal issues that were happening on Team Liquid, to then coming into this year as the best mid laner. I think that's as most improved as you can get, like the clear definition of the award. So it's pretty insane to see that from him and see that work ethic pay off.
And I think that's also kind of the coaching staff where that comes in as well. I think a lot of credit obviously goes to AP himself. He has to put in the effort, but also the direction that both the coaching staff and then they have obviously Impact and Core JJ is kind of like secondary coaches.
Supplementary coaching staff.
I think a lot of it also comes down to that and kind of helping APA find his groove because like you said, I think his work ethic and kind of his ability to grind and improve for himself is already good, but then when you have that kind of over you helping yourself as well, I think that's when you can grow the most. So impressive, honestly, by APA.
Absolutely, and a rising tide does lift all boats. Team Liquid's first team represents that because they managed to get 4 players be first team All-Pro, and then Umpty still got an All-Pro nod. It was just their team, and it is interesting to see the difference of experience as well, with Core JJ having 7 first teams, Impact only getting his 3rd first team, even though he's had over 10 nominations for first, second, or third team. And it's been an amazing mix for Team Liquid.
And the reason why I think it's really important to count just first team All-Pros, especially for people like Core JJ that has been kind of heralded and seen as like the best support in the region for such a long time, but then had a little bit of a drought, right? And a lot of people question him in the past prior years in terms of his individual skill and how he's able to like command a team. And this has been like a resurgence of that. So being able to see that from both him and Impact, who's been on the list, it seems, every split, but then now being seen as clearly the best, being flanked around with new players, I think is incredible. Just not only the conversation about the younger guys, but about the older players within that team.
I do have a small bit here just with the success that Team Liquid has seen, and it was shown a little bit in the fact that they won the Spring Championship, but this is the type of team that Core JJ has wanted to have for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Because he has had this theory, especially after they had the super team 2 years ago with the Bjergsen, Santorin, and just like this team of super veterans. And Treats, I don't need to put you on the spot here, but I imagine there are a lot of difficulties when you have a team of 5 veterans because it's hard to find a direction to move.
For sure.
For this team, it's very clear what direction they want to go in. Core JJ is essentially the captain of the team. Him and Spawn work together to set the direction of the team.
Yeah.
Impact is the top laner because they kind of play their own game, can also set his own direction. And then everybody else is very young and willing to listen to Core JJ. So that mix of experience allows for such a unified plan on how to play the game, and it's really worked out for this team.
Yeah, and I think also with rookies, it's kind of the thing where they get hyped to listen to Core JJ.
Yeah.
I don't think that like Sven gets hyped listening to Jensen the same way. I think they're both just like, I know how to play my game type of thing, right? So it's like not to throw shade at them, but obviously it's easier when you have someone like AP who's like, yeah, I'll listen to Core JJ because he's my GOAT, right? So I think kind of that also angle where the rookies just find more trust in the veterans, I guess.
Yeah.
And when you have a lot of veterans, even though they trust each other, I think it's harder to find that like deep connection, I guess.
Absolutely. And all that, we only have one more thing to gas up Team Liquid.
What's that?
We're looking at the All-Pros in today's matchup.
Wow.
Oh, no!
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough.
Teams doesn't have anybody in the first 4 teams. How could Team Liquid possibly lose?
Oh my God, when we ran this last year.
Seems impossible.
When we ran this last year, it was mostly to show the fact that it's like, actually, we really undervalue these players.
Yeah, I think, so the big thing to point out with 100 Thieves is that they had a rough summer until recently, right? And a lot of that I do think was meta dependent. I think the meta shift was definitely not in their favor with the way that River likes to play, and also in particular the way he likes to play around their solo laners.
Yeah.
However, with Tomo coming in, I think one big thing that has improved overall is the addition of Tomo does give more flexibility across the map to those players. But then also, they have improved on lane swaps. This is a classic, like, this is a top laner energy from Sniper right here. This is like, whenever I read this quote, I think of Zeus at MSI just being so depressed about the fact that lane swaps are going on. And then this is a little thing from Tomo about them practicing swaps because they knew that TL specifically, their opponents today, were going to try it. That they really needed to practice it, and it's been a focus of theirs. So I'm gonna go through some swaps against Dignitas. Treats, I'm gonna want you to chime in, especially the certain point here.
I got you.
But we're gonna start here with River is actually gonna place a ward right here that later is going to spot as Dig invades. And then the other thing to watch right here is that already we see that Ayla and Tomo are moving up here. And Sniper is going to rotate down to bot lane. So I'll fast forward a bit through the early map movements, but basically Dignitas is going to invade, and this is the initial setup, right? So what actually is going to happen is what the cast has been calling Australian lanes, where you're going to get a 2v2 bot, and then the 1v1 down here in the bot lane's top side, and then the 1v1 in bot. And this actually ends up in favor of 100 Thieves because they are going to be able to get the push here. And then also on the top side. This is a little bit later on. As this is going on top side, so Sven gets really low in this trade. Ayla is coming up. As this is going on, River is gonna come around from here, and Spica is actually going to look for a play coming up here. Ayla stops this back. While this is happening, down on bot side, Sniper actually ends up getting flash out of Licorice. As soon as he hits 6, he ults down on bot side. So that is advantageous for 100 Thieves, and River is able to come in, get first blood because of that earlier exchange. So these lanes did end up in favor of 100 Thieves from the initial swap, even with them matched. And then going forward a little bit more here, we're going to end up seeing this play on the bot side. And this is where I want your input, Treats, because I actually thought you guys had a really good setup here. We're gonna see a cross map play from 100 Thieves on the other side, on top side later on. But I thought Spica had a good setup. The wave is pushing in. So I have to ask while you're here, why did you guys not go for this dive?
I think a lot of it comes down to kind of the, I guess, mental hit from the early game when it didn't go super well. I think a lot of the swaps come down to kind of the confidence of diving the enemy. And I think especially also in our series yesterday against NRG, they didn't really have this confidence either. So I think it's kind of whoever takes the first shot at diving the enemy top laner and succeeds kind of wins. So I think that at this point we probably just weren't confident enough to dive, even though I think we should as well. And then obviously with the early lane swap, I think 100 Thieves just came out on top. So I think it was mostly like kind of a mental gap in this game, honestly. And yeah, like I said, whoever dives the top laner first successfully is gonna come out on top. And then obviously they do this to Licorice after.
Yeah, and this ends up, like, after all of these plays happen, you basically are about 1k gold behind, but in particular, Renekton is still in a good spot, and also Tomo is in a really good spot coming out of these lanes. I'm glad to get your input though, because I was sitting back here and I was like, I feel like they could have gone for that dive, you know? It would have been like a cross-map play. And in pointing out like how lane swaps work, I'm really glad you brought that up, because it comes down to like so much minutia that you might not even see the result of until like several plays later.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty incredible seeing the rapid development in a lot of teams when it comes to lane swaps so frequently. Like 100 Thieves, I didn't feel like, you even saw in the quotes, that they were a good lane swap team coming into playoffs. And then even you guys, like just yesterday, I feel like really rapidly improved in lane swaps as well. So all of it's coming pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it also comes a lot from scrims, obviously, where you practice this over and over. I think
how
every
annoying,
team.
How many? What's the
it's
lane swap
annoying.
frequency in scrims? Is it like
annoying.
80% at this point because teams are trying to get practice?
I think it depends on the teams. I think teams like TL, for example, think that they're really confident, so they don't do it as
they're
much.
doing it less now.
Yeah, so I think the teams that have kind of fallen behind a bit try it more. So like us, 100 Thieves, someone like FlyQuest maybe too, I think are trying it out a bit more. So it depends on the teams, but it's a lot of scrims, and I hope that Riot removes it. I don't know.
They've been trying.
Yeah,
they have
We're going to see what happens with the end of this year. I don't see how they can make large-scale changes before Worlds. Onto the topic of the series, though, Tomo's the player who has made the biggest difference for 100 Thieves since he joined. There is definitely some strength of schedule related things here, because they did play Shopify and Immortals in their final 2 weeks, but these are also really, really, really big statistical improvements for the team.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me isn't just that Tomo is performing well individually, because I think he has brought more stability to their bot lane and also more carry potential.
Yeah.
However, for me, it's additionally what he can free up from some pressure he creates for their solo laners, again, right? And slight meta shifts in their favor as well.
Yeah, and he's going to be going up against Yawn, who has actually had, against all of the teams for the whole year, very good stats as well.
Oh, those look great. Yeah,
his best split in his entire career.
Just his laning phase has been something that has been noted from every player. In fact, Tomo himself said the strongest bot lane that he's ever faced has been Jan and Core JJ. Jan's found his confidence this year. That's something we've talked about pretty consistently, but not only his lane's been great, but also his team fighting. So it's going to be a big challenge for Tomo.
Yeah, I think in general his consistency has just gone up. I think before he had like moments of brilliance, but I think now him and Core JJ have found their groove and their consistency. And I think that's something I also value really highly in general for bot lanes. I think some bot lanes can have moments of brilliance and kind of pop off one game here and there, and then maybe have an int game here and there. But I think what's been so good for TL is just their consistency across the board, and especially for Jan.
Absolutely. Moving on to the mid lane as well. This is a surprisingly hyped matchup if you were to take a snapshot about a year ago. So these are a little bit cherry picked, but it's just a reminder that about a year ago when Quid first joined 100 Thieves, people thought he was trash.
Yeah.
And then also APA, after he got completely bodied in summer playoffs by Palafox, people thought he was trash. And they were able to completely shrug this off, show a huge amount of improvement, win an MVP, and then APA getting first team. Plus, they have a nice bantering relationship.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that both of these guys know what it's like to have the community like shit on them, as we see some swears had to be blurred out here. But APA and Quid just going back and forth. And that's been the big thing for me, is even people who are proponents of these players, either Quid coming over from Challengers or APA coming up from NACL, we're like, maybe they're not ready, but they have work ethic, or like, but they have something. I feel like no one can now question like their mechanics and their dedication.
And it just has to feel good, because a lot of the times, you know, we make the criticism about off-season changes based off like knee-jerk reactions on maybe looking at Reddit threads or looking at community sentiment. This is the times where it felt like it was resisted against, and you saw the immediate like aftermath. It's like, give a player some time. Wait a minute, give him a massage too.
Hold on, we only saw Coach Hands. Both coaches are fully in massage mode.
Oh my God, those look good too.
Speaking of coaches, the coach cams from these two teams have been exquisite.
It's true.
Just
true.
the full gamut.
I remember that one. I remember the spawn fist in the table. That was
Yeah.
good stuff. I remember.
Going through multiple different water bottles.
And him wrangling his water bottles, just absolute choke marks on those bottles. So just, if you appreciate water bottles, don't send them near his way.
Really awesome stuff. And also, in case you missed it, you can now subscribe to the LCS Twitch channel. You will unlock emotes and other features like access to vote on an exclusive ProView VOD through Discord. So if you're a sub, make sure to get in on that and vote for the ProView VOD. And coaches are getting a lot of play now, right,
Yeah.
Emily? You talked to both of them before the series.
Hello, right before the Team Liquid 100 Thieves match, I am joined by Spawn and Golden Glue once again, the old NACL grudge match coming back, in addition to last Splits playoffs. So first, I'll start with you, Spawn. What is the most challenging thing about facing a Grayson team, or a Golden Glue team?
I think that he empowers his players really well. I think it's actually something he did all the way through NACL, uses their unique strengths very well. So when you look at this 100 Thieves lineup, obviously a lot of that's based around fighting and skirmishing. We have to be really prepared that, you know, even if they're behind, if they're ahead, they're probably going to play the game a very similar way, look to fight us, and we need to be aware of it because in the past, even Split 1, it caught us by surprise, and we ended up losing that game. So we got to make sure that, you know, that's something we're ready for.
And then for you, Golden Glue, what's the most challenging thing about facing a Spawn team?
I always feel like Spawn's teams are always like, they just have very clean macro and just very good structure. I always feel like they're the standard to beat. They're always playing like the meta and mid game like well, and I don't know, he just always feels like the standard to beat, and it's always fun to get a go up against him both in NACL and LCS, and I think he's done a great job with the team this year, and I'm excited to hopefully get revenge off last year's playoffs, or last Split's playoffs.
And speaking of, everyone has kind of identified Team Liquid as the team to beat in the LCS. I'll get to you in a minute. I hear you laughing in my ear. But going up and facing them, you guys had a really good performance against Dignitas. What do you think you've improved on the most that's prepared you for Team Liquid today?
I think our overall early game and being able to deal with swaps we've improved on a lot, and I think that was something that I was very worried about going against Team Liquid, and now that I feel more confident with our ability to do that, I feel a lot more confident in our ability to face off against TL.
And then for you, I'm not going to ask you, are you the team to beat? But in terms of staying at the top, you've been really, I guess, disciplined and kind of keeping your team consistent. How difficult is that when you are at the top of the standings?
Not difficult at all, to be honest. I think, you know, the way you stay number one is you train like you're number 2 or 3. In our case, sometimes we train like we're number 7, so it really helps us. In all seriousness, though, I think that the difference between the best LCS team in the league and the worst LCS team in the league is only like 2 or 3%. So on any given day, if you don't show up, you can get beaten. Something that we just drill into each other, our teammates, like a lot, is that, you know, we got to play our game, we got to play well, we got to make sure we stay disciplined, do the things that we do well, not try and become a different team. So that's what we've tried to do over the last 2 weeks. You know, been in hiding a little bit, scrimming a lot, and hopefully we come out and have some good things.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. And TL versus 100 Thieves will be on the other side of this.
Thank you for that, Emily. It's time for predictions. I will say,
any outliers?
Team Liquid is undefeated, and it's a 1 seed versus the 5 seed. So I don't expect anybody to actually predict 100 Thieves. What's interesting is I thought I was going to be spicy with the 1 game, but it looks like you both agree.
Yeah, Discord's the one that decided that they weren't going to win a game.
Treats, if 100 Thieves wins, how do they do it?
I think a lot of it comes down to them having like a stable early game and kind of a scaling comp. I think Thomas looked good on champs like Smolder and Kaizen Zeri, these like late game scaling champs. And I think that TL usually plays very slow in their games.
Yeah.
I think that's also why we like playing into TL as well. So I think if 100 beat them, it's because the game is slow and they just have a better teamfight draft, to be honest.
We'll have to see how this one plays out. That is it from us at the lounge. Let's send it into the games.
I will not back down. If you hit me, I'll hit you back.
What season is it right now? Big season.
We're gonna 2-0 them very easily.
He kind of like stole my whole flow.
Welcome back to the Summer 2024 LCS Playoffs. Today, it's a David versus Goliath upper bracket battle as 100 Thieves sets its eyes on a bigger target after destroying Dignitas 3-0 last weekend. Meanwhile, TL continue their title defense as they march toward the undefeated season. Finals weekend and a spot at Worlds is on the line. Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves starts now. I'm Azael, joined today by Kobe and Emily for the cast. We're in for a treat here. Team Liquid coming to this big favorites, but 100 Thieves, I think, a lot more on people's radar after how strong they looked last week.
Yeah, I think the big things coming out of 100 Thieves were they looked better in swap situations. And additionally, Tomo just has been such a great addition to this lineup. Not only does he have carry potential coming out of the bot lane, but in my opinion, he also frees up pressure from the solo laners. And in particular, I think that's how 100 Thieves like to play.
Also, we got to see some really good individual player improvements from this split. Quid, I felt like, was just on fire in the last series that they played. He played the Azir, Smolder, and Zeri in those 3 games versus Dignitas. In this one, just the Azir is banned against him. I like Team Liquid taking out the Lilia. That is the primary jungler on the patch, and Umpty even prefers playing the tanks anyways, or at least Team Liquid as a team prefer him to play engaged tanks in the jungle anyways, and Lilia is always a really big annoyance for those type of Umpty champs.
And this is already super interesting to me because the Vi is picked up by TL. That is also a huge takeaway from 100 Thieves. When we saw them be super successful before, that Vi to Leah combo was actually crucial for River and Quid, and they kept getting it a lot in spring. So that's a really interesting takeaway, and also different than a lot of other junglers we've seen Umpty play over the course of this particular split.
It's really interesting with the Smolder hover. That's something that Treats was talking about these scaling champions for Tomo, how he feels that he really pilots them well. That 100 Thieves, if they can have this strong early game and allow that to get Tomo to the late game, that he can really perform well in these 5v5s. This team really has had such a resurgence since Tomo came in as the substitute AD carry. They've been looking so much stronger across the board, and it's been interesting to even listen into some of the comms because you wouldn't think about a new player, a sub, a rookie, this guy coming in, leading the way on some of these calls, but he really is, which is very impressive.
Yeah, it was really, really cool to hear how vocal he is in comms. And obviously this Smolder can be for Tomo or Quid. We have seen Quid play it as well just last week. Over on TL side, the Ornn already locked in for TL, and additionally the Talia in tandem with the Vi. The most interesting thing here to me is that Senna has fallen so far through this draft.
That's the first thing I was gonna say when the Ornn got locked in, because if the Senna would drop super far, then you could have some pretty good options here. But I definitely don't expect Senna to go through the next round of bans as well on this patch. Obviously, with the AP ratio buffs, the Enchanter build super popular and super strong now. And 100 Thieves answering here with the Maokai for themselves for the front line to also get good engaged tanks, some structure for their team fights. And we're going to look at them focusing bottom lane here now from Team Liquid, trying to take some champions away from Core JJ, the TL team captain. On the Rel and the Rakan, he has been absolutely insane for Team Liquid. So 100 Thieves opt to at least take away one of those.
And in this lane swap meta, so many players are calling out Core as being so frustrating to play against. It feels like he's always there when you want him to be there least. If you need to crash a wave, Core's there to screw you over. If you just need to push out that last wave, he's always going to be there to punish. And taking away those engage picks, I think, would be key, as Core has been having one of his best seasons in recent memory.
Yeah, and we do see the Senna ban coming out of TL. They do not want to give that over to 100 Thieves. We also saw them bring it out in their series against Dignitas. The super interesting thing to me in this specific TL draft thus far is just the Vi and Talia is very different than how they've been playing for over the course of this split. But I'm very curious to see how they end up piloting it and what they want to pair with that, because to your point, Zale, I think Core has absolutely been a menace on the map when he's been unlocked and just roaming freely in these lane swap situations.
And Team Liquid definitely did show, last split previously, really good Taliyah usage, especially even at MSI. APA is definitely one of the biggest champs in that meta, and so it is definitely within their wheelhouse. And Vi, of course, is one of those frontline engage, tank type of junglers. So with the extra buffs on the patch, nice little HP and ultimate buff there for him. So we'll see about Team Liquid trying to play, replicate a little bit of what they saw some of the success from Energy in their use of that combo, really bringing that combo back with the guaranteed Vi plus Taliyah. But we're quickly getting a little bit behind here as the Rel was also then locked in 400 Thieves. Looks like both of them setting up for these team fights.
Yeah, Rel locked in, another champion that you mentioned, Emily, and the Alistar is going to be banned away. So really limiting the engage support options here for Core. But the Kai'Sa is going to get locked in.
And I'll be curious to see if this Poppy support, he's probably going to go with Leona. But the Poppy support was something that you had called out.
also up, which is kind of the most common combo with Kai'Sa.
And this is also something I brought up on the lounge yesterday, was the full dive engage comps here with Kai'Sa. If you can get Kai'Sa through the lane phase, this looks really, really, really good. Having multiple engage options there for Team Liquid, having APA roaming from mid lane on the Taliyah. So 400 Thieves. Now they're worried about what type of other carry can we have that is going to deal with full dive, guaranteed engage. Yeah. You have point-and-click Nautilus, you have point-and-click Vi, and you have Ornn ultimate, which is like 3 screens away almost.
Oh, it's going to be Quid mid on the Dragon here.
Okay.
Yeah, he got his solo kill onto Jensen level 1, so I don't know if you can improve upon that. Maybe we'll see here this type of play, but we're also getting the Varus after those Varus changes.
Yeah, and they've kind of set up a little bit of poke and kite back against what TL want to bring, which, as you said, Kobe, is very like, we are going in, we are diving, and we are getting in there. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can be able to kite back after those initial engages.
And the Varus changes just further pushed Varus towards the on-hit Varus. So this is basically guaranteed, in my eyes, to be on-hit Varus, both because of the changes, but also look what he's facing, a bunch of meatballs, a bunch of frontline. And the one thing it is lacking, though, is safety. So it is definitely going to be a primary target. I expect this game to be kind of difficult for Jan to play. It's going to be a lot on teammates to peel and to set up and create room for that backline. Of course, Quid as Smolder has a little bit more mobility, or a lot more mobility, so maybe an easier time for him.
Yeah, it could be, but at the same time, there's so much lockdown. If a Vi ult comes through, if you get hit by that seismic shove, Ornn ult over the top, Kai'Sa diving into the backline, everyone can attack that backline on the Team Liquid comp. This is really a bit of a different style than what we've seen from them so far this split. It is the first Kai'Sa game from Jan this split. We're going to see if Team Liquid are looking polished, are looking precise in this first game against 100 Thieves as they're making their playoffs debut here. And 100 Thieves going to the second round, trying to continue that success they had against Dignitas. Ooh, a little bit of spice maybe. Potential lane swap here as Jan is already up on the top side. They're getting some deep wards, trying to scout out what could be going on.
Yeah, whenever Team Liquid is playing, some of the younger top laners, you always have that in the back of your mind. Are they going to hunt for lane swaps regardless of the draft that they've gone for? In this one, Jan, of course, is hovering up here as Impact is the one showing, and both the top laners are staring at each other.
This is warded out. I think 100 Thieves are going to try to go for a deep wrap and try to get some sort of a play onto Umti. Umti has no idea that they could actually be behind him here. This could be a great early start for 100 Thieves. Oh, they sweep it out, and now they're maybe going to get nervous and back off. Oh, he goes back in. We don't know if 100 Thieves are still there, but now he gets the bad news. Should be able to walk it out. I feel like they went too early, no? I feel like they should have waited till the Raptors spawned, wait till he's hitting the Raptors so you can walk around behind, because he was still in the brush, so I felt like 100 Thieves kind of preempted the play.
Yeah, usually you want to wait a little bit, but since the ward had got cleared out, I think maybe that was the thought process. They're like, we don't know for sure. And now we're actually zoning Quid away from the wave.
Yeah, this is getting weird as Ayla's going to go in. Not going to be too much more than just the trade, of course, but it is a 2v2 mid. As soon as we started getting so many AD carries in mid, people are like, well, why don't they just double lane mid? They could play to both objectives.
And the main thing to keep track to of these lane swaps here is when you do swap is the jungle camp. So since the bottom side of the map is the weak side there for TL, they're the ones swapping their AD carry up to the top side with Impact, by the way, not with Core JJ. So it's a little bit of a different take.
Is ignited, and Ayla is actually maybe going to be able to push him back off of some of this. The Raptors have reset the little ones. Really does want to be able to grab that experience, but Ayla just being pretty annoying. This is a very active early game here so far between these two teams. Both players, really trying to dissuade the opposing jungles from being able to take more camps.
Yeah, and so Impact here is just trying to get past Krugs, but back to the Kai'Sa here. Meanwhile, they've got Core JJ solo Nautilus bottom farming against the Varus, which is going to mean the numbers on the other side of the map here are going to be 3v2 at Sniper being level 1 under tower, large wave.
Yeah, they're going to potentially look for this dive. Sniper's still level 1. Will they start it up? Impact is also only level 1. I think they're going to call it off, as they will just back it up. Ayla being there was enough to dissuade them, and now Sniper's level 2, so the window has passed. But this is so interesting. Having Core being the one as that support, soaking on the bottom side. Did either of you catch if he actually bought a support item, or is he playing D-Shield?
We haven't seen the inventory pop up in a long time.
So he is actually playing a support item, but he's still the one catching farm bots. So this is very atypical. We saw a bit of an adjustment yesterday in the Renekton game, where they put the Renekton top, with the AD, where Huhi was kind of just roaming around the jungle and leashing for his jungler to give Dokla a little bit more experience in that game. So this is another variation here, as Core's now level 3. Jan kind of shared experience with Impact, so there seems to be this kind of new evolution where teams are putting more emphasis on trying to get that experience for their top laners in this 2v2 with the AD.
Yeah, and Sniper is going to be the one that comes in with the experience advantage as a Renekton into Ornn lane too. So pretty beneficial for Sniper as far as the beginning of this game. He's very much a lane focused, a one-on-one focused type of player as River tries to go in.
Oh, nice flash forward there for River with the twisted advance, but it's just going to be to actually retreat. I thought Ayla was maybe going to come over the wall, and now a good bramble smash from River, disengaging the Q forward from Thought that would be more of an aggressive play instead of defensive, but River just uses it to proc the phase rush and run.
Yeah, and I feel like both teams in this weird adjusted swap that we've seen, again, have put a lot of their focus, interestingly enough, on the mid lane and that kind of mid-jungle combo.
One thing to note is because Core was down here getting experience, he's level 4. Ayla is only level 2, but Tomo obviously has an experience advantage on Jan. And it is Team Liquid slightly behind, 300-400 gold so far off of this lane swap. They traditionally have been the team in the league to get by far the most gold in these lane swaps. So this is, 100 Thieves handling the situation quite well.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves with some nice benefits. You mentioned the over-leveled AD carry, as well as the little bit there for Sniper. Sniper actually went for a recall already to grab his double longswords and refillable potion 2 here for the Renekton. So we'll see if he can get anything done in lane. This has been one of the fun stories to track with 100 Thieves, and with it being Sniper's rookie split. But bunch of solo kills and a bunch of success for him.
Yeah, and as we see here, this is the gold difference.
Oh, fighting
Tomo
bot side. Tomo in a lot of trouble. Tomo, it's burning down. Will he survive? No! First blood claimed by Core, and they're going to get a second one. That one's easy, and it's given over to Jan. The 2v2 goes heavy in TL's favor.
Is it an over-leveled AD carry or an over-leveled support carry? Core JJ!
Bot is support div.
I was going to say, what you didn't know is that Core is actually the carry in this lane.
Look at the pings. The Ayla spam pinging Nautilus.
Look at the chat.
Back to Academy, bringing Vish. Woo!
Wow.
Starting off spicy.
Yeah, APA is going in.
APA down T and 10 CS mid, just farming it out. Trash talking bot.
Maybe down CS, but he is up chatting words per minute.
And already we see TL rotating up. They should be able to get this grub take. As we see this 2v2 again.
Oh, that's just a really nice hook. Just kind of bends it around.
And then he puts the Ignite on, so even with the barrier there from Tomo, they fully have it. They can fully chase with that much of
in trouble. They're going to actually dive back on live. He gets the root. He flashes back to the tower, but the hook is there from Core, and that's another easy kill there from TL. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, back on live, and it could be potentially another kill, as now River's going to go in. This is forcing the cleanse. Core had tower aggro maybe there or something that actually forced him back off. Otherwise, I think River could have been in trouble, but a good move up to topside from TL's bot lane off of that. Gets him another kill on Sniper, and now Sniper's behind. Impact's the one that actually picked up that kill.
Yeah, and that's off of them getting those 2 kills in bot, rotating up for the grub take. This is when TL, I think, really start to shine in lane swaps, is like, not just with the initial swap, but in a swap situation where you're looking at lane assignments in relation to neutral objectives. They've been able to get a balloon this gold lead up to 1.4K just off of that kill and then this dive topside.
Yeah, really, really smart assignments from Team Liquid. Able to manufacture their 1.5 thousand now gold lead as they crash another double-stacked cannon wave up on the tower. Here's what you saw in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
Good call out there, Azael, but another Core JJ play. That was beautiful.
Yep, sets it up, and Sniper getting pressured here again. Oh, Hex Flash out of the brush. Doesn't quite get him, but they do get the plate, and they are continuing to put the pressure on this Renekton here. And they have managed to extend that gold lead even further. Impact now maybe in some trouble as there's 3 members down here around him. Can he walk it out? Just barely clipped by the ulti there. Gonna try to turn things around. Vi is here as well. Ayla's down. Umpty now in the 1v2. He could be in trouble, and Sniper as well. It's a dive on both sides. Action across the map. TL, though, landing the bigger punch here as they get the extra man.
They're landing the bigger punch, and Sniper, as this Renekton, is in such a rough situation, right? Where he's getting dove by this bot side. Meanwhile, Impact, with the help of Umpty, is actually able to trade one for one on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, I like what you both did there. The bigger punch coming from Vi with the biggest,
yeah, you like that?
The biggest punch of all. He was in the brush. Look at the minimap right now. You see Umpty on the minimap going through to the brush that they have the ward on. And then he kind of waits here for Impact to be able to set it up with his Ornn ultimate. Impact goes down 100%, but they do get the trade kill, although it also costs his flash. So that was actually both Impact and Umpty's flash invested in order to get that 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Sniper does not get afforded the opportunity to go 1-for-1. He has nobody up there with him. The 2v1 dive from the TL squad up on the top side of the map also pays off.
Yeah, that was just really nicely handled by Core and Jan, playing that very, very well. Core has been a bit of a menace, got the experience lead. It actually ended up mattering. Normally, I think gold diff for support's a bit of a meme, but he's making it work. He's up nearly 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has almost a 1K gold lead.
And he's up a full level, so this is actually now 2 levels periodically, just for a little bit, but still, he's going to be a big threat.
Core JJ had a massive lead in the votes for first team all-pro support, as well as being one of the discussion topics for MVP of the whole league. You know, unfortunately for him, his teammates, especially Impact,
team's too good,
are going to get a lot of those
life
as well. But Core JJ, every player in the league, always talking about, like you were saying earlier, just such an oppressive presence on the map as he roams around. And now we're going to see a 3v2 on top side where they have a lot of wards. We've been talking about this, duo for TL. They've got plenty of vision here, so they see River come to clear it out, even though as 100 Thieves rematch with their lane assignments and hover with jungle, it's not really going to relieve too much pressure.
And the big thing for me here is how Impact came out in this swap, right? Look, he's about to push Sniper out of lane.
Yeah, Sniper
potentially
getting
kill
pretty
him.
low. If he stays around, he could be going down. One last bellows breath. He claps him over the head. But on the other side, it's Umpty in trouble, knocked back into the team, and he's surely going to be going down. But the rest of the fight might go the other way because Impact and Jan are here. APA arrives as well. Core sent packing, though, as he's got to flash over the wall to get out to safety. So a big play from Impact on the bot side, but it's 100 Thieves fighting back and looking to reap the rewards of that. They're on the grubs.
Yeah, and look at Impact pushing down this.
Oh, the hook. It's a swing and a miss, and now Core may be stuck in. Flash forward. It's the twisted advance to follow it up from Ayla. And they're going to look for this first kill. Jan can be caught nice. Killer Instinct over the wall. APA flashes in, gets one. They're all getting AoE down.
APA.
Quinn is low. Ayla's low. Tomo flashing in, trying to finish off Jan. But Jan just dashes out, gets to safety using the flash, and barely survives. And now TL back to the grubs. They're going to be able to take him.
And we talked about how this Vi Talia combo isn't necessarily the way we've seen TL play this summer, right? But Talia is one of APA's strongest champions. He has such a good read on how to be able to play, when to come in, his angles on the rock. So even when Core hits this, he gets rooted up here, goes down. APA is able to clean up, and also Yon is untouched as well.
The biggest thing to me, too, is that this is a huge tempo play for TL because they were at the numbers disadvantage, but had the 2 extra people going for resets. Impact, you mentioned him, farming the turret plate money and getting his reset off. And then with Umpty coming up as well, getting the extra kills there. With that big AoE, despite the numbers disadvantage, they still go for it. I mean, Team Liquid, I just love the new version of Team Liquid. Because if you remember a couple years ago, the old, slower version, obviously different players as well. This one, though, constantly pushing tempo, constantly forcing plays. It has been a breath of fresh air, except it has been very, very annoying for Sniper to deal with this game as everyone keeps swapping over to him and diving him and going numbers.
Sniper alone.
Yeah, we saw that quote from Sniper in the lounge as well, where he was like, yeah, I had to get used to lane swaps. Not most top laners, I'd say, are generally not a fan of them. And he, again, because of this swap coming through, has had such a tough time in this game as a Renekton that should be ahead.
It's going to get worse. Here's the combo coming in. Nice flash out, though. He's trying to turn around. APA tanking the tower critically, though, so Umpty did not get tower aggro.
That means there's going to be a cross-map play here on the other side.
How much are they going to get? It's a cross-map play, but it's from TL instead. The TP coming across the map. The Hex Flash and the ulti. It's going to follow it up from them. No, he can't. He gets rooted up. Impact can't actually redirect the ulti across Tomo and Ayla, so they're lacking the damage to finish him off. Flash forward, though, coming through. APA arrives. Another TP coming in on the other side. This one's from Quid. The seismic shove, not timed just right, but Impact is killing him in the back line. He's got a double already. He's got a triple. He wants more, but Sniper and Quid are here. The seismic shove off of the combo. Can it be an Orn Benton? No! APA takes it away. They're going to get all 5 on the top side, though. TL crushing through 100 Thieves.
Oh my goodness. Team Liquid just don't stop. Impact teleports in the top lane, flashes forwards. That double knockup from the alcove.
That was so good.
That was beautiful. He draws them into the alcove, running away on Ornn, but turns around to get the double knockup set up for APA. Absolutely beautiful. So here was the beginning of it. And you actually see some really good return damage from 100 Thieves to take down Yon. But Impact says, no problem. Me and Core are the carries.
Yeah, and Impact is so tanky at this point that APA already has the read on to Quid when he comes in. And again, this combination from Impact into the APA flip back is so
I wanted the
good.
Orn Penta so bad.
Same. APA cleaning up those 2 kills.
How could you?
If there was a way we could have given it to the Orn, would have been great. APA's already typing.
Yeah, he's typing and then he typed again.
Yappa is the best emote that we have ever made, by the way.
It's true.
XD30 prep for dig now. Oh my god.
It's game 1, man.
Come on, bro.
Game 1 Andy right now. Honestly, though, there's a reason they have so much confidence.
Yeah, the lane swaps are looking pretty good, averaging 2,000 gold ahead. In this game, it's 6K already. Impact in the middle of 4, but he might like those odds because the rest of TL is coming in, and Impact is still alive for now, turning around with the Bellows Breath. The ulti coming through from Core across multiple members. It's 1 for 0 for now, but Sniper's going to ball the seismic shove, catches another, the killer instinct. Yon's got it, and he's got another kill. 15-5, 7,000 gold lead, 15 minutes in. This one is a stomp.
Yeah, I was going to circle where we were at and the fact that they already had a 5K or so gold lead. They just added another at least 1,000 to that. And now, yeah, we're really going to see TL begin to choke them out on the map. This map is going to get even scarier.
Yeah,
for 100 Thieves.
I think they've already deprived them of a lot of oxygen as far as the pace of this game. We're only 16 minutes in. I love this supercharged TL. What do you think Spawn's coaching opening speech was for the game number 1? He was like, you know what? Everybody, just go out there, game number 1, turn it up to 12 as far as the speed goes, and just have some fun out there.
Well, if you remember, he was the one on Twitter. Yeah, the 3K gold lead for, and also the 1.2 for core as well. He was the one who, when facing 100 Thieves in spring, was like, we need to get more aggressive, right? Because we know that 100 Thieves want to play fast. That was back when TL, I believe, was the slowest team in the world at that time. And it was that initial playoff series against 100 Thieves where they really, really showed their explosiveness. And now they're showing it again against 100 Thieves in something that's looking a little bit similar to when they met in spring.
I'm always super biased for dive comps. I just love dive comps. They always, create so much excitement like this. They create these types of snowballs. And when you're running a dive comp like Team Liquid, with Kaisi here for Jan to be able to follow up, like you're saying, step number 2 after the early lead is completely take over vision through the jungle. That way, 100 Thieves have nowhere to actually keep up in farm, nowhere to keep up in resources. So TL doing a very good job, kind of step by step, taking away any territory for 100 Thieves to go for. Woo.
And yeah, Ayla is going to get knocked up. He's going to go down first.
Yeah, Ayla's in trouble here. It's going to be a turn on to Sniper. Sniper bursts down. Mom comes across, but it does absolutely nothing. 2 kills for TL. And it's going to be a clean fight again for them. They'll take the advantage and they'll just back off. The gold lead now nearing 10,000. Multiple items getting completed here for TL on these bases as well. It's hard to see 100 Thieves hanging on too long in this one.
Yeah, and they even APA TPing up top side to get vision control here. They can't even go for Baron yet because it's so early on in the game. But back to your point, Kobe, when we looked at this draft, it was going to be like, okay, can the carries of 100 Thieves be able to kite back off of those initial engages? Once this comp got rolling, that just got so much more difficult, and you saw that in that bot dive where they were just so easily be able to take down that turret and clean up a few kills.
Yeah, kind of the 4.5 minute to 8 minute mark of the multiple swaps back for TL after the initial swap and after they are able to stabilize. Is where they're able to build their gold lead, and we saw a lot of the mastery from Team Liquid come in their skirmishes.
Yeah.
Specifically some of their numbers disadvantage even skirmishes that they were able to take and able to win. Of course, a lot of the dives, specifically onto Sniper, also highly benefiting them. But as you can see now, it is so much easier with a 9,000 gold lead to just keep the lights completely off 400 Thieves here, litter the jungle with your wards, continue to collect all of your neutral objectives, and you're actually on such a quick pace that you have to wait around a little bit. You have to take a deep breath and not dive too deep to throw anything back, because everything on the map should be yours for the taking.
River and Sniper are just getting completely starved out of this game, but we got to talk a bit more about TL. The first team All-Pro awards, 4 out of 5 of them were in first team. For a couple of them, this was their first time. For APA and Jan, first time actually getting awarded that first team All-Pro. did get third team, which they took some exception to. They had some words about that, and now trying to prove himself a little bit more on these carries. I think it's hard to get first team All-Pro when you are playing more that supportive style. But bringing out the Vi in this first game, looking really, really good at it. And Impact hadn't actually gotten first team All-Pro in quite a few years. He's usually up there, usually in second, sometimes in third, but this time definitely in the running for that MVP, and unanimously did get that first team All-Pro in top lane, which I don't know if I've ever seen. Every single person who could vote for him did.
Yeah, not only is Impact really good individually, but he's also the one most credited with a lot of TL's macro and lane swap success. And I see him on the top of another list here. That would be the gold difference list. If you look at the scoreboard right now, that is an Ornn player with the giant lead in this game. Of course, it's a little bit mean because Sniper also got dove by other people. It wasn't a 1 versus 1 type of gold lead.
Never a fair fight.
But that's why so many people have so many kind words for Impact.
Yeah, it's a lot, like you said, about the swap backs in the lane swap and just general lane assignments, but then also knowing that they have to target this Renekton, right? Like, they don't want this to be a pushing lane that 100 Thieves could play around early. As we see, is just taking this Drake for free. This map has become absolutely miserable for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough. Also, remember tomorrow, C9 versus FlyQuest should be an absolute banger. those two teams, along with TL, rounding out the top 3, definitely the favorites to make it to Worlds and to make it to the LCS Finals weekend.
He got some. APA got some of those. The gold was kind of hidden there. Didn't see exactly how many, but he got a piece of those Raptors. They really have to fight for every single little, even chicken nugget on Summoner's Rift.
It's a 3-level diff in the jungle right now. It's a 2-level diff in top lane. You know, River is completely starved out of this game. Core is honestly pretty close as far as experience and even total gold to the enemy jungler. It's a rough spot to be in as a Maokai.
Well, I do also kind of want to talk, since we have plenty of time, since I think everybody knows the direction this game is going. Some of the buffs here. Cosmic Drive is actually one of my favorite new buffed up items. They added a flat 100 health for free, no cost increase on this item. Plus they increased the move speed that you get with the proc from it. I think it is just in general so efficient now, such a strong item. We saw it pop up a little bit in the LPL. I forget who was playing it, but it was a Mordekaiser top who actually rushed it. It has actually popped up in win rates on a lot of the stat websites for solo queue as well. I always pay attention to Volibear, and it's actually a very high win rate rush item for anyone who values both HP as well as AP. And so, you know, some of the buffs to some of the more fringe AP items have been nice to track. I like to see APA actually getting in on that, especially Taliyah, who does benefit from move speed.
Definitely. 11,000 now, the Goldie. They take out the tier 2 top. They threaten the wraparound there. Then they drop to the ult behind the mid tier 2. This is just expertly done. And honestly, there's not much of an opportunity for 100 Thieves to respond to it at all. Now the TP coming in towards mid. That one is from Quid, as Sniper's just going to base. Trying to get out here. This could be a fight. This could be a potential Hail Mary. But I mean, if 100 Thieves commit to a fight now, you have to think they just get decimated.
Yeah.
So they do have their second item completions. Maybe their thought is, we have 2 items, they don't have 3. This is our only chance.
Yeah, Sniper actually completed his recall, as you were saying, so he could finish his Steric's Gauge. And they're thinking maybe right exactly on the pinpoint of our 2 item spikes. Maybe TL will force it and we can actually turn around a play. But TL, they wisely hold onto their cooldowns. Look at APA's inventory. 2 rods. You know what that turns into? A death cap. And that is going to be insane to have a 3-item power spike Taliyah with one of them being the fully completed death cap here really early on into this game. So Team Liquid, they know they have such a large wallet advantage that they don't have to force anything. And you will know when they do because they have super long range Ornn ultimate and the double point and click that we mentioned earlier. So anybody from 100 Thieves here that is too far, even in their own jungle, is liable to get picked, like Sniper.
Oh, yeah, Sniper's in trouble. They're behind him, and he's going to get flicked back off of that for sure. Sniper looks like he's slated to go down, trying to get out, does flash. The killer instinct is there to follow. Jan claims another victim. 100 Thieves trying to push up mid, but TL could just go to the Baron if they want.
Yeah, you see the double basically globals to follow up there from APA
and for the fight now. It's River that gets caught. The turnaround engage coming through from Aelith. They're going to try to turn this one around. They do get a kill on to Core JJ, but it's umpteen impact into the back line. Tomo's gone. Quid's on the run, and Jan is hunting down River. Everyone from the Thieves, but River will fall. TL going to be turning their eyes on the Baron, you have to think.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly what we see from TL, why they're so scary, is they force you into making these decisions, right? Like 100 Thieves, they're trying to push down on this turret. Core goes in, and even though Ayla is able to get back, and the Mom actually ends up doing a lot of damage, Impact is right there with the ultimate and the knockup.
Yeah, if you're going back and you're thinking, all right, what were the comms like on 100 Thieves? They were most probably, from looking at their movement in that macro sequence, they were thinking, oh, TL, they're probably instantly on Baron after they got that pick on Sniper. So let's try and at least get something for ourselves and try and push on mid. You know, maybe we could sneak an objective bounty while TL go for the Baron. But TL, again, wisely, they know we are the gods of Summoner's Rift at the moment, so you don't get anything. We don't have to trade you anything. There's no trade deals being offered. We're not going to do Baron and let you even have a tiny crumb of anything back. So they go for the kills first. Like, get off that mid tower, then we'll go get the Baron when we feel like it, and we'll return to finish the job.
Yeah, TL just offering them defeat, nothing else so far. Impact had a nasty Ornn combo, by the way. Ulted, flash forward for a faster redirect, hit both the AD carries, then a double knockup, doubles Bellows Rest. He got so much damage done on the backline. Nasty fight from him as now TL looking to put the finishing touches on a beautiful game number 1. 15,000, you heard that right, is the gold lead. Only 26 minutes in. They're marching on the Nexus towers. APA throws down the Weaver's wall. Ayla caught on the wrong side, and they're going to turn on him. Sniper going to dash over the wall, but Ayla is gone already. Sniper in trouble as well. Yon free firing onto him. Quid and Tomo trying to get the work done on the other side. Timback getting low. TL getting pushed back a little, but another does fall, and now it's Umpty going to the backline, gets deleted. It's a 3v3, it looks like, on the map, excuse me, a 3v4. Liquid having the extra man, but they are getting really low here, and Quid does have the 225 stack, so he has that true damage, execute, and burn. Impact, though, Warmoxing up on the side. I don't think they're going to be able to hold the line. Impact can just go forward again now as he's back to full health. Tomo into the stasis, survives for now, but River going to fall. Tomo's gone as well. It's Quid versus the world, and I don't like those odds. Team Liquid take game number 1.
And what a game from Team Liquid. This, again, when we talk about why every team is saying Team Liquid is the team to beat, this is the top LCS team. You see them come out, we're like, 100 Thieves look better against Dignitas. Maybe they can show us something. TL come out with a new creative look at this swap. In particular, their swap back was great. They get Impact so far ahead, and he and Core kind of took over this game.
And I would just say the individual plays of Core JJ early on this Nautilus did so much work, both on the bottom side of the map and on the top side skirmishes.
So annoying.
Impressive stuff from TL, but a reminder to all you LCS fans out there, next week we'll be live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a bonus day on Friday, and then our regularly scheduled programming on Saturday and Sunday, so don't miss out. Now let's head on over to the LCS Lounge to break that one down.
Thank you, and I think Emily might like this one because we are going to talk about the swaps.
Oh, there we go.
This was a lot of individual play and less about the crazy thing that TL did at the start and more about how they responded to the rest of the swap. So let's pop in right here. And this initial situation where the support is 1v1 bottom against the AD carry and then their top laner doesn't dive would be considered in a lot of cases to be not a good start to the swap, because after this dive doesn't happen, Sniper has a small experience advantage over Impact, so Renekton against Ornn seems good for 100 Thieves. And then bottom lane, Tomo got level 4 and Core JJ got level 4. So you'd also think slight experience advantage for the AD carry would be good, but it's more about what you do after the fact. So one great bit of individual play that Core JJ did right here was just a godlike hook under the turret against Tomo. You do have to note, though, that he is level 5, so he's 3 points E against a level 3 Rel, which means that all-in is still going to be favored for Team Liquid. Gotta do a quick shout-out to this amazing hook, though, as he's managed to lollipop it. Then when this minion dies, Tomo's the closest to the turret, so he also takes a turret shot. Just ridiculous. But beautiful. The reason we're talking about this segment in general is more about how they play the map from this state. So if you remember, there's a slight experience advantage on the Renekton versus the Ornn, but boy is it slight. It's about half a level. Sniper wants to use this advantage, so immediately Team Liquid take their bot lane advantage and move it top lane. So they come straight out as Sniper tries to contest this wave, hoping to hit 6 first and then maybe fight Impact in a 1v1. The bot lane arrives, they kill Sniper, they get the solo kill. To add insult to injury, the decision tree doesn't stop here. Like, they could absolutely then just reset their bot lane back to bot lane, but instead they use the teleport from Impact to catch this wave, and they keep these guys top. After this, it is honestly just basically them outplaying, but it's continuing to use the advantages they've gained. They managed to kill Sniper under turret in a 2v1. And then on the bot side, when Impact is just ridiculously far ahead, he completes a Thornmail and also executes his own solo kill onto Sniper. But the biggest point of this, and Treats, you and I were talking about this before, is that the initial advantage was a small experience advantage for Core JJ, and then they just ping-ponged that around the map to grow to like a 4,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I think what's impressive is kind of the, like you said as well, it's not the initial lane swap. I think sometimes they don't do it perfectly, TL. Like this game, I think Impact could TP bot and kind of soaked more XP for himself. They tried the top dive, didn't work. That's already kind of a small failure for them. But like you said, it's the decisions afterwards that matter. And I think TL, a lot of the times, if there's 50 decisions in a lane swap, they do 45 of them very, very well. Whereas 100 Thieves, maybe they do 20 or 30 pretty well. I think that's kind of what sets TL apart in the lane swaps. And I think that's going to be hard for 100 Thieves to overcome, right? It's hard to kind of get that experience throughout the series and kind of adapt better. And I think a lot of it is just adapting, and it's hard to learn that on the spot.
And how frustrating must it be for a sniper who's in that position that gets that experience advantage that feels like, okay, now's the time.
He didn't get to play the game.
He didn't. Like, Ornn was half HP, no mana. He's like, this is the time to go for it. Random swap, he dies, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because those are the type of swaps that you have to fear the most. I mean, historically, a lot of those times where swapping was in the meta in 2016 to 2018 or 2020, where it's like, if a team just has tempo bot lane and they just make a random swap happen, you have no vision of it happening.
Yep.
And the bot lane's conditioned to be like, well, they're on a base timer, they're just going to come back to lane, but they're in the opposite lane.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of heads up that you can give.
And what's funny is after this happened to Sniper in game 1, in game 2, when he's about to hit level 6, he's going to hesitate.
Yeah.
He's going to wonder where the bot lane is.
Can I kill him? And then you see the replay and you're like, damn, he was alone. I should have just done it.
Another highlight from this game, though, was we almost had an Ornn Penta, man.
That would be crazy.
It was so close.
I
This
mean,
would have
Impact
been the
was
funniest thing.
so far ahead this game, and like he just looks like Thanos when he comes into this fight, right? He has a Thornmail. I think he almost had a Jackshot at this point too. He's completely unkillable.
Just flashes into Tomo.
I mean, Tomo's like he can't even hit back because he has a Thornmail. So I mean, this fight was hilarious. I think honestly, Yappa, you should have given this Penta.
Please.
I mean, I think he was a little worried about them killing Impact because it is a full health quit in Sniper, but like right here, stop hitting. Just let the Ornn do it.
At that point, there's no apology. If you're watching that replay, it's like, no, you intentionally took the kill, buddy. But like,
instantly.
maybe when I'm apologizing to my teammate. But yes, it's actually hilarious watching this game through. And I mean, we were talking about it behind the scenes. Like after that early game, it just feels over instantly.
Yeah.
Like there's no way it feels like that you can come back. You're always going to be there ready to receive a throw, but if it's against Team Liquid, it's not going to come.
It's going to be hard to bounce back from that. That was somewhat of the game 1 we expected with the undefeated Team Liquid against the number 5 seed. Before we get to break, though, we do have a secret exam. It is time for an LCS secret exam. So
I saw this on the side and I was worried.
Listen to this. So a new skin line is coming out called Day Jobs. It has skins for Azir and Thresh. We're debuting the Thresh Day Job skin.
Okay.
So we're going to have a pixelated version of the Thresh skin splash art, and we're going to have 60 seconds to guess the Day Job.
Oh, okay. We can do this.
Let's.
Confident.
I haven't seen this. Okay.
What is even this?
We need more pixels.
Thresh.
This is like, okay, we're getting a few more pixels.
What are the people that like
Is this like
harvest and
construction or
control
something?
bees?
I couldn't even tell that this would be Thresh at this point.
I would say
beehive-
something with construction.
Yeah, construction worker probably. I'm going construction worker.
Would Thresh be? I mean, at this point, I'm just thinking thematically, what would Thresh be?
You just took my guess, Raz?
Yes, I just
like
stole it. Literally, yeah.
I'm waiting more than the first 20 seconds. It's ridiculous at the moment. We need to see more.
Yellow. Like, did he just turn into a bee?
We just changed the pixels. No, we didn't even make it less pixelated.
Wait, they're just moving them around?
Yeah,
Oh, they're increasing the number.
It's getting clearer and clearer.
Yeah.
I can't think of one. I literally can't.
Okay, every time it updates, I feel like it's supposed to be clearer, and then it's still not clear at all.
Exactly, yeah.
Is he like a conservationist? Is he out in the ocean just clearing up garbage?
I mean, is he mining oil? I feel like
that's a good one.
It's
something.
Industrial Thresh?
Guys, I'm losing hope in
I
all
said
of us.
construction worker first, Raz, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say dock worker Thresh.
I'm gonna look
That's
at the
going to be
Twitch
my
chat.
guess.
I'm cheating.
Okay,
Someone
our
said
time's up.
miner.
We're headed for a break. While we wait, think about what you think Thresh's day job
Wait, someone
skin
said
is.
a fisherman.
No, it's going to be revealed after the break. So tune in then. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you soon.
I'm stealing chats.
Welcome back to the LCS. This is the unpixelated version, although it's actually just the max amount of pixels. It's a full pixel version.
Exactly.
This is Janitor Thresh, so if you guessed Janitor Thresh, you nailed it. I've been told Grab Magnet was the first one to get it in Twitch chat.
Good job.
So I don't know what you get. Congratulations. Let's take a look at both skins in game. So here's going to be the Thresh skin that we just saw the splash art for.
Is he getting people with his mop? Is that what that is?
Yes, he is.
That's insane.
And that's beautiful.
Oh, that's a sick ult, man.
Oh my god. Okay, that's fun. I'm getting one of these.
We're also going to see the Azir skin. Oh my gosh. That's actually pretty sweet.
He's doing his job out there. He's doing his job.
As a Thresh player, I have to get it.
Okay, here's Azir. Let's see.
Wait, what the hell?
What is his job?
What do they have?
Do we need to guess Azir's job based off of this? This is like a separate game.
Are those like
He's an attorney.
Oh yeah, that one was already revealed, I think, right? I've seen that one, I think, on Twitter.
Okay.
Just a note, fans at home have a chance to earn these skins at the LCS Finals by completing day job-related challenges. We'll see about that. That'll be on September 6th and 7th at the YouTube Theater. Tickets are available at riot.com/LCS Championship. And the skins will be available on live servers on September 11th. So that's happening. We also have this Team Liquid vs 100 Thieves series, 1-0 for Team Liquid. Very dominant game one. Treats, if you're 100 Thieves, what do you do?
What's that conversation like behind the scenes?
That's a very good question. I think a lot of it comes down to the swap. I think a lot of it comes down to the confidence in the swap and also the champions in the swap. I think that if I'm Sniper, I probably realized that I couldn't do anything this game, so I don't want to play any more Renekton. Impact favors a lot of the tanks in the swap, which makes sense obviously because you have an easier job in the swap. You can defend and attack kind of. So I think a lot of it comes down to kind of adapting in the draft for 100 Thieves.
Not a lot of, especially after a game like that, there's a lot that players would want to talk about, but you don't get that much time to be able to do that. What's that time kind of conversation like behind the scenes? Like, what do you immediately try to hit?
I think a lot of it comes down to mentally resetting as well. I think everyone has their own like way of mentally resetting, but I think that's honestly the most important, especially after a loss. I think there's not that much info you can kind of provide as a coach that actually will stick into the next game. I think some clear things are really obvious. Like for example, you could tell Sniper, oh, they like to swap if they are up tempo on their bot lane and they have a good swap champs for it, right? I think something like that is easy to kind of point out, but I do think a lot of it comes down to the draft. And obviously now 100 Thieves are on blue side. I think it's easier to kind of draft for themselves in a way where they can just have a more stable comp.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like after a loss like that, you
go next.
Take a drink.
Yeah.
Have maybe some fruit.
Good banana.
Honestly, try and avoid discussing it for a couple minutes, and then you say, so we're going blue side next game. And you just move on. Because the environment of game 2 is going to be so unique compared to the environment of game 1. And obviously they did pick blue side because after losing the game, the team that loses gets to pick sides, and blue side has been very dominant so far in these playoffs. And we're into it.
I want to see what the priority is going to be from 100 Thieves on blue side this time around because Senna, they've been a pretty good Senna team.
Yeah, they did play it against us, and I also think that the Vi prio might be really high in the series. It's something that both junglers really love to play, and it's just a very strong champ in the meta in general. You can kind of play it with a lot of different champs. You don't have to play the Talia, which APA played. You can play, honestly, you can play an AD mid with an AP top as well. Vi is banned by TL as the last ban, which I think makes sense. River is a really good Vi player, so it will be interesting to see. I think for me, the bot matchup was kind of whatever. I think both bot lanes are very flexible. For me, top is probably where he's offering the horn. I don't think he's locking it in. I think
Smolder like they should pick Senna, but they might just think Smolder's super broken.
Yeah, I mean, I did say that if they win, it's through scaling, right?
Yeah.
I think it looked strong last game too, and it's obviously a flex for 100 Thieves as well. I just feel like it's kind of hard to get through the early game for them as well. They have to pick some champs that are more flexible in the early game than their last draft.
Might be a little bit better this time around because like last game, having to deal with both Vi and Talia as a Smolder, even if you're using it as a flex, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
This time around, at least they get an idea. They're still going to have to deal with the Talia. Now that I said that, right, immediately the Talia is coming through. How frustrating is it to play against the Talia, like especially APAs?
I mean, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's also very good in lane on Talia. I think some champs he struggles with in lane. I think some of the AD matchups he's not as good as, for example, Jordapion. I think he accelerates like really fast on these AD mids, but I think APM, the Talia, he's very willing to give some farm in the mid game and just find plays. I think he's a very good player at finding plays in general, so it fits him as a player. And obviously, Sejuani for Umti is kind of a classic. Against us, we banned before, like was it Sejuani Maokai?
Yeah.
The two Umti classics. Here we go, a better lane swap champ this time for Sniper. Jax is a way better champ at defending than the Renekton, so I like to see that.
There's a chance that instead of trying to keep up with swapping, 100 Thieves just commits to standard lanes and then hopes to track when the dive is coming and just let Jax sit under turret. I feel like simplifying as much as possible for 100 Thieves would be the way forward, just with the way that game 1 happened. The extension of the lane swap decisions felt like it became a little bit unplayable for 100 Thieves in the rest of the game, so I really do like the Jax in this game because it can be something that Sniper, 1, is very comfortable with in general, and then 2, is one of the best champions at defending against the dive.
This would be interesting if it comes through for Impact. That's an old school classic for
it
Impact.
Is. He is really good at it, but it would be weird.
There are some picks.
Cassante.
Yeah, it's not going to get locked in. There's some picks where you see someone solo queue history and they're like, okay, he's playing a lot of DP. Wait, he's also playing a lot of Corki top, and then we just never see it. And you're like, damn, okay, never mind. I should not put much value into that one.
This might have been one where Impact's like, just let me play GP 1 game, and coach says, no, just lock in Cassante. Make it easy.
Yes.
I have heard an anecdote from Spawn before where he does have a lot of final say in picks and bans.
Yeah.
So even though you definitely want to have your top laner's opinion, he knows that APA is the one that's locking in the pick. So he can just tell him to lock in the Cassante, and then that's what Impact plays.
No say. Thought just crossed my mind. I know the Jax is something that Sniper is quite good at, but having known that Umpty and River are both, like, they played Jax jungle in the past, and when you're in a playoff series, how important it is to have a flex pick. They already have a Smolder. Do you think that can be a Jax jungle, or do you think it's going top and they're just going to pick a jungle on 4-5?
I would say 99% it's going into the top lane.
Yeah.
I think in general, also just because Sniper is such a good Jax, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
I think overall it can be a flex pick, surely. I don't think the Sejuani matchup is actually that good for Jax either, so maybe if it was something into like the Xin Zhao, which has been a kind of normal counter in the past, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what TL picks first, because when you have the choice of AD carry and sub pick on 4, it really varies from draft to draft. You can sometimes pick something like the Leona, which I don't think is a great pairing with Sejuani and Talia. There's a lot of Merc Twins value. So maybe something like the Rel into the Nolus makes sense, and then they can hold their AD pick for 5. Kalista is also open, but doesn't look like an insane Kalista game, so I would expect them to pick something like the Rel, maybe like a stable AD carry as well. Could be something that they do.
They do need a little bit of damage, would be the only call out here. I think Cassante Sejuani is a little bit low damage for top side.
Kalista Renata would work here too, for sure.
And when you're going up against Core JJ, you're a little concerned that he's waiting for a perfect opportunity for a Taric or something, so you already said it, so that's going to be a Rel.
Yeah.
But I was praying for a Taric or something. It's just personally.
And those champs are really good into drafts like this. I just think that it also just frees up Yon to pick a lot of different champs. Kai'Sa is obviously banned now, but I could even see him playing something like the Ziggs in fight pick here. So I don't think they don't need that much damage against the enemy comp, and if 100 Thieves kind of plays a long-range, like Smolder front-to-backy comp, I think something like the Ziggs is actually really good, and it's also very effective in the lane swap. So I think it kind of depends where they put the Smolder. I would just expect it to go mid again, and them just playing kind of an immobile AD carry here. Something like the MF, MF is kind of the standard pick here, I would say, from the side of 100 Thieves. I think now you could slam a Ziggs if you're Yon. You could also look something like the Jhin, just like a normal standard champ. But I think for the swap especially, the Ziggs has a lot of value.
We've been seeing it banned quite a bit, Ziggs in particular. A lot of it feels like, oh, it could be targeted towards the team. How strong do you feel like Ziggs is right now in the meta? Because it has been getting a lot of sneak bans.
Yeah, Zeri is also just another good scaler. But Ziggs is very strong because a lot of comps also kind of have a lot of frontline with one engage tool. So I think when you have something like the Ziggs or Zeri that can just front to back easily, it just makes a lot of sense for the draft. So I think the only negative with Zeri is that she's actually not that insane at swaps. She's not that good at diving towers because her Q just goes right into the tower. So if they're trying to dive Jax and Jax is just hiding behind the tower, actually pretty hard to dive him. So
if I were to take a step back a little bit, which comp do you favor more?
I would honestly say I favor TL's comp more. It's a bit easier to play, but I could see 100 Thieves actually having a better early game and smaller scaling. So slight TL favor.
Sweet, sounds good to me. Down to hear from the casters. I'm going to send it straight back to you guys.
Thank you, Lounge. We're getting into game number 2 here. Time to find out if 100 Thieves can battle back in this series or if TL is going to take a bit of a stranglehold on it after a very dominant game number 1 off of that lane swap.
Honestly, too, I kind of like what 100 Thieves has done. You know, they got the tier 2, like the later pick of the Zyra to ensure that you're going to have a Leandries on your team to deal with all those tanks that Team Liquid generally like to run. So much value out of that burn that they're going to try and get. 100 Thieves, of course. I think I agree with the Lounge in that they kind of need a good early game so you don't get behind with this, because then you're going to be too squishy, and then Team Liquid are going to be able to force too much on you with the Sejuani, with the Rel. So I think tracking core JJ, that is #1 on everybody's list, especially after last game.
I would say #1 on their list should be muting APA, but he's starting already in game number 2. I was like, oh, that's nice. Impact starting with the GLHF. They're going to be nice and happy. And then APA, maybe you guys play game 2?
I feel like him and JoJo are the 2 players that are most muted by other players in the LCS. But we did have, speaking of core and how well he did in game 1 and how annoying he was on that pick, as we see him going in again at level 1. 4th all-time for assists.
And again, TL have 5 people, everybody down here for this invade to back it up. So once again, fishing through it. The only thing they're worried about now, the other side of the jungle. So you see Umpty crossing back as Sniper actually does drop the ward on the red to be able to track.
Yep, so they're going to try to get the idea of where the lanes are going to be. It looks like it will end up in standard lanes here. 100 Thieves still hanging around, making sure there's not any sort of a late invade coming in from TL, but we see everyone's up to the top side, and we've got Jat with an interview with Coach Golden Glue.
Thanks, Golden Glue. Topic on everyone's minds after game 1 was the extended lane swap from Team Liquid. So how are you adjusting for this type of chaos in game 2?
Yeah, I mean, well, at the start, it looks like we're not getting a lane swap this game, but I think game 1, the swap was actually going really well for us. We're up XP on both top and AD carry, and we just got like hooked under turret and died. And then that snowballed into the top dive. I think Team Liquid plays like the late rounds and lane swaps pretty well. We kind of already talked and we knew that was going to happen, but kind of was frustrating to see we still fell to it. But this game we got standard, so hopefully it goes better for us.
I did notice the really early lock-in of the Jax for Sniper. Was that a little bit swap related, or is that more just trying to go with your early series prep?
It's just one of those things where, you know, the Renekton obviously didn't have the best game, and so we're just going to swap it up and change the top pick.
All right, how's confidence level for the rest of the series?
Still feel pretty good. I'm really curious how this game is going to go, and I think like we all kind of feel like that game 1 was just like we kind of tossed it away real early and gave them a huge lead early, and we kind of felt like we almost could still win fights even though we're down like 10,000 gold. So, you know, hopefully this game we just don't end early mid-game and we can actually have like an even mid-game to like team fight.
Yeah, well, 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, still an even game, so I'll let you watch the rest of it. Best of luck.
Oh, there's a hook on a Yon. He's going to be ignited. We'll be able to back it out, but it's an early advantage for that 100 Thieves bot lane.
Something I would highlight, too, because Golden Glue touched on it. Never mind, River coming over the ward.
River.
Will he check and actually find him? He sees Umpty.
It's a pretty rare brush. That little brush on the inside.
Oh, now he checks it, though.
Just a little too late.
All right, Umpty secures the Gromp as we do have the invade continuing here. Ayla moves up because of that bottom pressure that they got. And again, you're afforded so many luxuries when you have bot pressure like this. That's why I love to see the Misfortune pick coming out here. Another thing that Golden Glue touched on was the later lane swaps. And if you're the team with a Misfortune, with the winning lane...
hooked out of the air, could be in some trouble here. Tomo piling forward, can't force out the flash.
If you're the team with the Misfortune, with the winning lane on bottom lane, it sets you up for not original lane swaps, but just regular level 6-minute grub swaps really nicely, because Misfortune has such a strong lane phase that they can also use her mobility to go up for those grubs level 6, or at minute 6, excuse me, to be able to get a pseudo lane swap. But bot dive.
Yeah, they're just going to zone Yon off again.
Yeah, and this is big for 100 Thieves because we've talked about what Tomo has been able to do with this team. APA still is going to have this massive pressure in the mid lane, but on bot side, the thing that allowed that invade was the pushing bot lane. And here you see Tomo before the 100 Thieves before the roster swap, and then after, with Tomo coming in, giving them a point of pressure to play around, as APA is going to use his pressure to aid Umpty on this invade.
Oh, River gets caught by the seismic shove. Could be in trouble if he can stack up the passive. He's going to have to likely flash the wall. Holds on to it. Now flashing late, but 100 Thieves are collapsing. Core's coming in as well. APA's got to run, but he's down already. Yon's coming in. Can they turn something around? Doesn't look like it. TL sent packing on that one. Quid grabs the first blood, and they force multiple summoners out of TL. They bit off way more than they could chew. Everyone from 100 Thieves collapsed.
Yeah, a bit disrespectful there. Team Liquid diving too deep. I think that was a good bait by River. He's just kind of standing there. You can see him just staring at him, and he does get hit with the big chunk, but then as the rest of the 100 Thieves come, they're able to punish the super deep dive that everyone went in on River.
They want to try to dive this. Core actually saw Ayla. Okay, never mind. He's going to back off. He saw Ayla recall. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say the other big thing is that now this Smolder, who was getting shoved in by APA, ends up getting the kill off of this. As we take a look at this again, River stays here, and APA is following him on the invade, but Quid is going to be able to come around from here, and this bot lane is already rotating in.
And I want to highlight that ward. The ward right there, it did give them vision of River, but because they fully commit to it so deep, even with the extra ward giving them vision there, so Umpty could start the knock up there so they can get
back to live as APA gets flash hooked by Ayla. He is caught. No flash from the previous play. It's another good kill. I saw in the picture-in-picture, he had a good initial seismic shove to disengage Ayla, but then Ayla caught him with the flash hook, it looked like.
And Kobe, you talked about, okay, where are we going to put...
Oh, Tomo in trouble now. Going to flash forward onto him. He flashes out. The stun does not land from Core, but he's tanking it up. And Jan's got him, surely. They trade back a kill. Nice roam from Ayla, but TL will not allow it to go unanswered.
Yeah, they do answer bot side, but Kobe, you had talked about here is Ayla waiting as Quid is going to be able to rotate up from the wave, get the kill after coming back from resetting. I think the big thing here is, again, they're able to rotate up for that first grub take.
Oh, Impact's going to go all out. Sniper in trouble, but Quid is here to back him up. That could have been a solo kill, but instead, now it might just be a dive. They're softening him up under the tower. He has the Antovo strikes, does connect onto Sniper, but doesn't want to dash flashing in. Gets the kill in the 1v2. Who else but Impact? Quid, you got nowhere to go. Pulled out of the sky by the Casante's blades. Can he get another? Just barely sidestepped. River comes in to bail him out, but it's Impact in the top lane. Colin top die.
That's why they picked the Casante, you know?
Oh, Sniper! What was Sniper doing? He was so disrespectful. And you can't do that to Impact right in front of his face on the tower. But Sniper sticks around. He wants his turret plate money. Tries to jump out on Jax, but it's too late.
Yeah, he goes in here. I want to see this again.
Respect
Sniper,
your elders.
Yeah,
That's the lesson here.
Respect the GOAT.
Respect your elders.
He thinks he's good also because he has Quid here for backup, right? So he is going to go in. Yeah, thinks he's going to be able to get the kill.
So I guess he's waiting for Counter-Strike to come back up?
I would guess so, yeah. But I mean, just going in turret range against Casante when he can so easily. And Impact almost gets this as well.
Yeah, if it weren't for that root from River, he absolutely gets it. And then barely sidestepping that just about clipped him. Impact really playing well as we've come to inspect from this guy. He has just been so good for so long.
So I went back on the Observer computer to look at the cooldown on his Counter-Strike, and it just came up like 0.1 seconds there. So he could have been like, if he was smashing it, maybe? If he was mashing it, it could have come up, but man.
That's what I was thinking, is that he wanted to be up on him and then have Quid hold aggro from range, and he goes in with the Counter-Strike, and they try to dive him like that. But obviously went a little bit too early, and Impact's going to punish you for those tiny mistakes every single time. Umpty now sitting on a ward here, has been spotted out. Remember, the winner here not only qualifies for Worlds, they'll also be in the LCS Finals as the Lightning Crash comes out, but he's hooked into the tower. The bullet time coming through, clearing out most of that wave, but Umpty's behind them, and here comes APA. They want to look for the dive. How are they going to set it up? Nails the ulti under the tower, and on the other side, it's a fight between Impact and Sniper. Sniper and River looking to take him down as TL get two on the bottom side. It's traded back on top by 100 Thieves.
Once again, we have a very bloody start, but I really like this out of TL because now APA is going to be able to get damage onto this turret. Sniper is going to trade on top side, and it also should give them first rotation on this Drake after
it was 100 Thieves bot lane that ended up getting the initial push with the MF.
At the very least, this is a much better condition this time around for 100 Thieves after these second slots because they are not failing their opposite side map plays this time around. Last time, TL was winning both sides because Core JJ was just blasting everyone and then roaming to the other side of the map. But this time around, at least 100 Thieves did successfully pull off their play on the top side while they get dove bottom. That was a nice snipe there from though, to set it all up. And Team Liquid do get their successful dive on bottom side. It's just answered with the kill on impact.
Tomo just barely, his bolt time didn't get those range minions. Otherwise, it would have been a lot harder of a dive to actually set up, but just couldn't quite get it. And yeah, they do get that kill back. And they also got a plate mid, they got a plate top. So not too bad gold swing wise.
And I would say for 100 Thieves, you are focused on Quid yet again, the Smolder. He has been able to do so much for this team when he gets his hands on the Smolder, and with 3 kills really early on. We'll keep track of the stacking here if he can accelerate that as well. But Quid, definitely a big possibility there for 100 Thieves to actually fight back in this series and really push it way further than we saw in game number 1, which TL just kind of stomped them in.
And he was so good last week and honestly was dominant as far as the DPM he was putting out in regular season versus playoffs. He was really stepping up in that series, was a monster performer for them. Smolder is absolutely a champion that can pump out the damage, and he has that great early start.
Yeah, and as we see TL rotating up to take grubs, the big thing for
they're scrapping on bot side. Impact and Sniper going at it again as River is engaging on the top side. Yawn looking like he might get burst down. Impact and Sniper do disengage, but it's Quid chasing APA. APA in trouble. He's surrounded, gonna have to flash out. It looks like Umti's gonna be able to block from the seismic shove. Comes in. Hook will lollipop to Umti, but it's going to be disengaged. Bot side, is there a re-engage on this? Looks like both top laners content with what they got.
Oh, and Quid got that kill. He sniped it with Mom. The Mom came in to give Quid his allowance here.
Not even the same player.
Gets the last hit on that one. Continues to feed the Smolder.
Flash forward, Glacial Prison connects. Seismic shove is going to be there. He's shut down. Kobe, why'd you have to praise him?
Kobe, I was literally
That's what you get for calling your mom. That's what you get for calling your mom.
Just about to circle this and be like, look, Quid is in such a great situation, right? Like, one of the big differences in this game for 100 Thieves is that Sniper and Quid, they're 2 solo laners that I like to play around, are both in really good positions, especially off of that initial kill that Quid was able to get. Now, Sniper is in a good, is in an alright spot, but the big thing is that APA got that shutdown.
He did, and he needed it. And now look at that, he's got a bounty on his head.
Sniper's in trouble, got scooped back into the tower there. Looks like it's just going to be the shot.
And to me, too, it also highlights some of the plays that Umti does for this team. We were discussing the All-Pro and how, you know, for TL, Umti was the only one not on first team, but him waiting around on the Sejuani in the Fog of War to set it up for him and get his carries, that shutdown, get him that extra gold. Now you've got APA with huge CS numbers here on the Taliyah, with the mobility to really influence mid-game on the map. You know, he is the pivotal one here to move around and actually keep those lanes in check.
And I'm always way more impressed by a really good farm like this. You know, he's up to about 140 pre-13 minutes. When you take into consideration, he moved down and actually tried to back up the invade on the red. He went bot for a dive. Like, he has been moving around the map, so he's getting all his farm. He's being active on the map, and that's exactly what you want to see from Taliyah.
Yeah, and that's an underrated part of APA's Taliyah, right? Is he has a really good sense of where to move on the map, and overall, just generally, TL are really good at getting gold onto their carries just through really smart lane assignments.
Look at this focus on the wards through river here, 400 Thieves. Nicely set up for them. Lots of vision waiting for this play, and you see everyone just standoff right now. Whoever moves first is going to be the easier one picked here. The CC setup lying in wait, and they wait for the extra person to come through. Quid even flies over the wall here to ensure that they have the safe pathway
APA
with
has
vision.
No flash. This could be a little bit dicey. He doesn't know that they're around. He's going to throw down the wall to try to cut him off. Just a split second too late to actually lock Ayla on the wrong side there. Both teams playing around vision very, very well. It looked like initially 100 Thieves were actually trying to set up a trap onto Umti because they had a ward over the grub wall that saw him enter that pit. But both teams playing it smart, and I do think 100 Thieves has a real shot at it in this game. They have a very good composition to kill these tanks. If TL aren't perfect on their engages, there's so much DPS in this 100 Thieves squad.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. Like, this team could not fall behind early. Right now, like 200 gold lead, not a massive, massive advantage, but it is a really good spot for this
fight
composition
breaking out.
to be
TP's
in.
coming in. Impact's going to try to buy time for that TP as he goes all out on a sniper, trying to chase him down. APA is here. The seismic shove tries to backstep it, but he can't. He's trying to use it to turn it around onto Impact, but he gets scooped back in, and he gets knocked down. APA out there on the map. Call him Mr. Worldwide.
And look at the rest of the map right now. The only real counterplay for 100 Thieves is to hard push on top. You can pick up this Rift Herald and get Quid up to top tower. If Quid could get solo tower gold, but
engage around mid. It's cleansed out from the ulti. Yawn trying to turn around onto Ayla. Umpty looking to block the shots. The bullet time comes out, and it's the engage from Core JJ. One's down, two's down, count them. River's next to fall. Yawn's gonna pick him up, rack him up, and knock him down. Liquid gonna grab the Herald as well.
It's the River Rel from Team Liquid. That horse comes through just when they need it. Core JJ arrives. Quid gonna fight them on this Rift Herald.
They're keeping in. The Jax is going to come. They're looking for the 2v3. Cooldowns are lacking for TL, so Yawn has to run. Impact is here, though. They're going to be able to push him out. And at the very least, the Mom's coming over the top. Can they get them low enough? Sniper's going to go in. He goes in with the big counter-strike. Knocks down one. Yawn had to flash out. Quid flashes in to follow. He's going to get spotted by that ward. Doesn't give him vision to kill. Not just yet. On the other side, it's Sniper against Impact, but Umpty making that an unfair fight. Quid trying to get him. Yawn goes over the wall, buying so much time. Finally, they get the shutdown. And now Ayla's here as well. But APA is in, and Sniper is down. Quid spent so much time trying to kill the Zeri that he lost his Jax on the other side.
Yeah, I was about to point out, okay, but APA is still getting bot side turret. Then we had this skirmish that goes on for so long. He's actually able to get in on the back side of it. And now Impact is actually going to TP mid to try to stop Tomo from taking this turret.
Plus, if they just fully commit to this Rift Herald, I mean, Team Liquid have a pathway towards the, well, actually they're going to, Core JJ is going to look around as they do it, but they do have a pathway towards the Dragon here too. Dragon #1 in the game. Looks like APA commits to staying topside, will finish out that push. There are no more teleports for Team Liquid. So 100 Thieves here, they have the advantage with Quid still having his and just going to push out bot.
Yeah, and we'll see. It does look like APA is going to rotate down for this potential Dragon take instead of staying topside. And 100 Thieves might not contest this.
Yep.
So Quid's heading up from bot.
Looks like TL are in a pretty good position to take it. They're happy, I think, over on the other side, though, for 100 Thieves. Jax in that side lane, trying to continue getting farm as much as he possibly can. Of course, APA going to be difficult to deal with as he has 2 items already. So they do see the Dragon.
I think it's pretty nice for 100 Thieves to just remain calm at this moment, even though they are over 1,000 gold down and one single Dragon stacked up here.
Oh, that's annoying. It's going to actually block the Herald charge. He can try to bring it up to a different lane. He's doing a little loop-de-loop, but can't quite pull it off.
He's not gonna get...
the engage going in, though. Tomo has to flash out as Core JJ goes over the top, and Quid is caught. Quid is down as Impact goes all out, and River turning around with the Stranglethorns. The bullet time not connecting on too many, but Impact is burst out. APA low as well. Everyone has the blinking health bars, but APA charging forward gets another. Team Liquid, of course they come out on top.
The double kill for APA, the re-engage as the Rift Herald's doing circles on the map. Team Liquid strike quickly.
And there you see just, again, how well APA knows this Taliyah as it comes down, it blocks, Ayla has to do this weird little loop here. And then really what I want to watch is immediately when that hits onto Tomo, Core comes in and they lock down Quid. The wherewithal for TL to know exactly where they can jump on the carries, the bullet time setup has not been super great for 100 Thieves either. They have not been able to get it onto Yawn specifically. He's always been able to dart out of it. Then you see APA on the cleanup. The way he uses this Taliyah is just so smart.
You shall not pass. They do not get to use the Rift Herald in the mid
Umpty
lane.
going in. Another Glacial Prism, but this one's buffered beautifully. River, though, may not be so lucky as they're piling in. Here comes Impact, and River has no flash, nowhere to go. River is out of there.
It's so interesting how TL are constantly able to just assassinate enemy carries with so many tanks on their team, with so many angles to get these engages off, and they actually get a stop onto Sniper with everyone else here. Umpty could try and cut off.
Umpty is going in, and in comes Weaver's wall. They're going to try to stop him from getting out. He tries to flash out, pops the ulti for a little bit more resistances, but we don't know if it's going to be enough because Impact goes all out. Nice leap strike, the bullet time there to cover. Getting him out is successful, saving Private Sniper, pulled off.
They can push mid, mid. They're going to get at least a tower here in compensation for that, but TL snowballing so quickly, it's getting out of control.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I do like that decision to at least try to push down mid. However, on this top side, they already get the tier 1. APA is going to be pushing this wave into tier 2 and then resetting.
And APA, he's the one racking up most of the last hits here in these fights, and he's gotten the exact same bill again onto Leah. Honestly, he's almost on the same pace for another super early death cap. We're at 20 minutes. He has both his rods ready to complete here. And it is crazy, the world in which we are now living, where APA is just godlike, ruling the LCS here, when it was so recent, when everyone was flaming him only just a year ago. Look at that.
And he has been such a big part of this, right? About the fact that this team has improved so much. Yon and APA have made remarkable improvements, and as a result, TL has just been looking so bulletproof. It's been 163 days since they've lost the series. They went undefeated in the regular season. They're on the march and trying to make it an undefeated entire split.
And I do want to point out a kind of unsung hero in a lot of these fights who's setting up for APA and Yon. Look at Umpty. Like, I know we joke about, okay, Maokai, Sedge, he had a great buy game in the first game of this series, and it's been a lot of his setup that's allowed for them to clean up.
They're on Baron, though, and 100 Thieves well aware of it. Core has a great flank angle, but 100 Thieves are coming in. This is going to be a tough one to take, but they drop the Weaver's wall. Looks like they want to commit to it. Core is still not spotted. The Baron's getting incredibly low, and it's going to be secured by Umpty on the other side. The first kill already goes down. APA has been finished off. Impact goes all out, and they did kill Sniper. Can they continue the chase? Quid going in, slowing him down with the Achu. The ultimate coming across multiple members. That one tagged Yon. Core has fallen as well. 100 Thieves wants to get more, but can they do so? Doesn't look like it, as Yon should be able to walk this one out. Impact is already based, and Umpty should be able to get out of there as well. It cost them a couple lives, but they got a kill back, and they got the Baron.
Yeah, I definitely still worth it here for Team Liquid. They should be able to use this Baron buff to take away a lot of the rest of the towers here on the map. Resetting really quickly for that Dragon. And I would shout out the peel from Umpty in this one. His W2 on Sejuani, barely tagging there at the end, not allowing them to continue the chase. But here's a look at the decision to actually burn the Baron. 100 Thieves, they charge in, and the Sejuani ult goes right between Quid and Tomo. Not hitting either of them, so that 100 Thieves are still able to chase through, but they still get the Baron, and as you say, they got one kill, so they still, it's only like 2 for 1, and not that bad as far as the kills go, plus the extra benefit of now being able to push down objectives. And right as they cut the replay was the W2 from Umpty there to slow, so that they couldn't continue chasing onto Yon.
Yeah, that was really big. I mean, he landed multiple of those. Core just turns, realizes, I'm going to die. I'll give my life to slow them down. The zap comes over, slows them down. Those little things turned a really good play, you know, from being a really bad play if they all died.
And that's why I'm glad that I didn't caster curse Umpty there, right? Because I was just talking
This is the smite,
about how him,
dies.
about how him on the Sedge.
On in some trouble. Mom going to come over the top. Nothing to follow it up, though.
How him on the Sejuani, on stuff like the Maokai, even in the Vi in the last game, we saw him setting up so well for the TL carries to really pop off.
Now, looking at it from the 100 Thieves perspective here, yes, you are down, but it's not as overwhelming as game number 1. And remember, you still have Smolder here. You have Quid. As long as he's able to survive without getting flanked like we saw in the mid fight, where it was literally Umpty, Core JJ, and Impact from 3 different directions, all immediately engaging onto Quid and killing him. If they can actually keep Quid up, he is almost at his rapid fire cannon. And then you start to get to use your stacks here, which are just about to complete as well for him. He's fairly close to getting that, plus the rapid fire. Then you actually get to use that long range poke and try and whittle them down.
Something else I'm a little bit concerned about is can 100 Thieves keep River having access to his own jungle, right? He has less farm than Sejuani, and TL are so good at when they get a lead, pushing in, stealing away all your camps. Zyra needs farm. Zyra needs items. You know, you can't just sit back and peel and throw out ultis. You have got to be a real threat, and at this point he might not be, but Impact definitely is, and Sniper pulled into the rest of the team. He's gone. The bullet time is big from Tomo. It does get a burn down there from River. Yawn over the wall is getting a lot of damage on, but he's killed. Quid takes him out and gets another as the plants are cooking him up, and it's barbecue time. Quid gets another kill. It's a double for him. It's River getting a lot of damage done as they were ignoring those plants, and they cooked him.
All right, I need, in the replay, can the observer click on River and see if that was single-digit HP survival for the Zyra there? Because it looked like it to me, and it was all without the teleport call from TL.
Yeah.
They told APA, just keep pushing. This fight is going to be over so quickly that it will not change it if you teleport, so just get the objective on bottom side. And unfortunately for TL, that big combo from 100 Thieves was enough to burst down multiple members.
Yeah, so they get on to Sniper, but then this Zyra ult into the MF ult is huge. Tomo goes untouched, and even when, oh, wow.
Look at the plants.
Yeah.
Look at River's HP.
What do you got?
One. Hit one. It hit one and then regen to 2.
Literally 1 HP survival. Thank you, observers. I love you.
Yesterday we had a 1 HP Dragon. Today we have a 1 HP Zyra. That was crazy.
Calculated.
100 Thieves
Oh my God.
are able to get a lot done there. The Zyra plants did so much in the back of that fight, you know, finishing off Impact, finishing off Core, finishing off so many members.
That's the difference between the pros and us. They calculate
True.
There you
those
go.
down to the 1 HP.
Ones and zeros, baby.
He barely dodged the Sejuani W2. It was inches from his face. But let's take a look at these objective bounties, because there is some good news for 100 Thieves. Sniper gets one. Mid lane there, they're fishing around, but looks like 100 Thieves should be able to play defensively and back off.
Yeah, and honestly, TL didn't take that many early dragons or anything, so Soul is not yet a big threat. You know, it's still 1:40 until even the 3rd dragon here for TL, so 100 Thieves can still continue slow playing this. They have so much gold here onto Quid. He's going into likely a Leandries. Sometimes people do Riftmaker 4, but it's likely going to be that Leandries where your poke really starts to crank up. At this point in the game, you have a lot of points in your W, and that plus the rapid fire Q procs are so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, and if they can get another few fights like that where the setup from the Zyra is just so good for the MF ult to come directly over the top of it, Sniper and Quid are in pretty good positions to clean up fights like that. So these TL still, despite the 4.3k gold lead, does have to be careful.
Yeah, biggest hurdle for 100 Thieves to overcome now is that the TL pick potential is through the roof. They have map control and vision control here, and since Umpty, Core JJ, and Impact are so good at utilizing that vision control to get their flanks off, everybody has to be so cognizant of that during their pathing to these objectives. TL trying to catch people off in transition, and you see them camping on their control wards, waiting for their opportunity here to really strike, because APA
Deep is coming in. Look at Core. He's going to be wrapping around, and there's no flash on Tomo. They do spot him, so 100 Thieves should be okay for now.
Yeah, we'll see. They definitely want to be able to jump onto either Quid or Tomo.
It's especially easy too to just like fish for picks with Talia, just like that actually.
In trouble. This Glacial Prisoner followed up, and he is just dead already. The poke back, not a lot honestly, and they use the bullet time there, so they are in trouble. 100 Thieves got to run, but Sniper gets flicked back. Impact goes all out. Here comes the Weaver's Wall, and that could be the end of it. 100 Thieves are fallen. TL find the window, and they pounce, and they're looking to push it down mid.
Can I just say, that was a perfect setup from you, Kobe. That was absolutely beautiful.
Talia with vision coverage, you know they're going to go for
Tomo,
it.
nice sidestep, uses that move speed. River's here to try to bail him out, but they are on the wrong side. The Stranglethorn's coming down, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Tomo trying to make something happen, but he's got nothing. Yapton America to the rescue for TL. Gets another. They're pushing down mid. They could even go for the end of the game. Impact's just going to stop the Zyra from pacing. It's Ayla alone here. Sniper not up for 5 more seconds. Can he clear out the wave at all? We'll see. Ayla flashing back, just trying to waste their time. Sniper now respawning. TL have taken that first Nexus tower. Will they back it up here? APA relatively low, but Yon's still pretty healthy, has the summoners. They think better of it. They want to back it off. They're not going to risk anything, and they will be able to get out of there very likely. A 7,000, nearly 8,000 gold lead. Take the jungle, take the dragon, and just put the finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, I thought they might end up trying to barrel down mid. I do think, again, even with them not going for the end, this is something that's just so dangerous about this TL team. They'll get the map into a state where they can immediately just push to end, destroy your base, again, force you to make really bad or not bad decisions, but you have to make very risky decisions around the map, especially with this composition where, again...
Oh, Sniper caught out. Seismic shove there to follow up the core JJ engage, and he is just dead again. Sniper cannot get any purchase in this game.
Those picks, when you have the map completely blacked out, really nice job there from TL, because you know what 100 Thieves are thinking. They're like, okay, they must be all camping Baron again, right? Similar to last time, they're sitting on their control wards, but they have the other side of the map, Dark 2, and TL Fish on the other side, so they get 2 for 1 basically, pick down there, plus the Baron, and now they can return to finish that job.
And look at this Taliyah, almost 4K gold ahead now, 10, 3, and 3 on this pick. APA is so good at recognizing where he can be in team fights with the Taliyah, when he can get catches.
Oh, Core maybe going to get jumped on here, but Yon is coming, as is Umti and APA from behind. TL want to look to try to get a fight here to potentially end the game after the Dragon is taken. The bounty is secured. 100 Thieves have got to run, though, and they're caught out away from the rest of the base. Impact and APA also maybe looking for an angle for Sniper. The Weaver's Wall is going to get built. They're going into the base onto Sniper. Sniper's got to try to get out of there, but there's the Pathmaker into the Seismic shove. Back to the base for Sniper. 9 deaths for him. They have just been preying on him all game long. The rest of the 100 Thieves members will be back here, but can they even clear out the waves? Impact flashing forward, scoops in Quid. The Dragon's down, and so are the chances from 100 Thieves. Lightning Crash will seal their fate. Yon comes in for the easy double. It's match point 2-0 for Team Liquid.
TL's frontline is insane. When you're running Impact, Core JJ, and Umti, the enemy team carries, like, you cannot misstep, you cannot blink. One of them will get the engage, they will be on top of you, and you are going down. TL, really nice job once they were able to get the lead, even though it was a little bit slower in this game. They then are able to, step by step, control the map.
Looking incredibly good, but remember, during the summer split, you could win a chance to Worlds. Hey, maybe TL will be there. Or a set of 7 Player of the Week statues. Impact has a lot of those. Use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the in-client store and save your card on file for a chance to be entered to win. Let's head on over to the LCS Lounge now to break that one down.
Welcome back to the LCS Lounge. I think it's time to get into the highlights of this game.
Yeah, I think so, too.
This was a lot, so it was a lot closer.
Yeah, it was.
It felt like 100 Thieves was going to have a good chance.
For sure. Like, the first 8 minutes of the game, it felt like 4 kills went to Smolder's pockets. I was like, how do you lose this?
Let's roll this,
that's
because
what you would think.
we're going to see how we got in these situations. APA ended up being the story of this game, although he definitely had some question mark moments at the start. This first replay is after he was already down Flash.
Yes.
So he started this game 0-2.
Yeah, because he helped out Sejuani for a bot lane invade, died. Go straight mid, Nautilus is there, dies. Pretty rough game at that point in the game.
I think after this top dive, when Impact gets a kill and then Quid barely gets away, if K'Sante went for this play and got 2 kills, the game would be over. But honestly, I also thought, like, Smolder having 4 kills, even though the game was kind of close gold-wise, Smolder can easily carry this game against double tank and Rel, right? So I think the problem for me with the way the 100 Thieves played this game is that they played very narrow. They played very 2 lanes heavy and kind of didn't defend the weak side properly. So even though APA wasn't even in every fight, he was getting so much farm around the map. I think he had like 300 CS at 26 or something like this. So there was a lot of plays back and forth. I think some worked for TL, some worked for 100 Thieves, but in general, TL's bot lane also got ahead, so Yon got pretty fed on this area as well. He didn't really carry the game, but he had a lot of gold this game.
Yeah, it felt like Tomo and Ayla in particular were the targets. This being said, this fight was great from 100 Thieves from the beginning. Just being able to challenge this, I did not think that 100 Thieves would be able to challenge this fight after the earlier blunder that was happening through mid.
Yeah, Quid got very fed. At this point, he was actually 4-0, and it looked like he was going to be able to carry the game. But then I think this was actually really crucial here when gets the nice ult out of Fog of War, and they just one-shot Quid. And then the shutdown does go onto APA.
That's
and
huge,
this is really the moment where APA really started pulling ahead of the Smolder.
Yeah, I feel like if Smolder stays ahead the entire game, it's really hard to shut down. But once the Thalia kind of gets a one-shot
this is
potential
insane.
on combo...
Let's actually pause it here, or back up just a little bit and pause it. So when the wall distracts the Nautilus to go all the way around here, like Ayla was doing like an emote, like a little thumbs up emote, but everyone on Team Liquid is like, actually, their front line is over here. It's time to just go. Yeah. So let's roll this one more time. This was actually a really big turning point in the game. Apple flying over the wall.
I mean, Core JJ and Omti know timers really well when to engage, and even though Core missed Tomo here on this combo, they still find the Smolder who's fed, right? So Smolder's dies instantly, and Impact gets really chunked here by River, but I think the positioning of the fight is just better for TL still. They're healthier, they have better summoners up, and they're just better positioned in the lane, so AP is just pumping damage throughout this entire play. His rocks are on the ground, no one can really engage into him, and he finds a nice Q here on River as well.
I think at this point APA is probably about 2,000 gold up on everybody else in the game, but the experience advantage is going to be the big thing. That's a big check mark right there, because that was a big turning point in the game for Team Liquid.
And there's a lot that wasn't
There were
really
so
shown.
many fights in this game.
There were so many fights, and even when it felt like it was a back and forth,
The
He
Smolder Zyra combination
arrives,
here.
boom!
And look at the plant on Core JJ here as well, chunking him with
top.
the burn on top.
You can see it barely at the top of the screen. The Smolder guy ends up killing him.
The execute animation on Smolder, I will give it, even though I hate the champ, is very nice. It's very satisfying. It's dopamine every time you see it. Golden Glue was happy with this one too. I mean, this could have been kind of the game-defining moment for 100 Thieves if they kept the Smolder kind of progressing, but TL's setup around objectives is just so frustrating to play against. It feels like you can't walk anywhere.
Let's back this up just a little bit to right before Ayla gets hit by the seismic shove. So right here, we were talking about this. It's so difficult for Ayla to actually make a team fight happen because the overall squishiness of 100 Thieves, if you look at these other four, Jax, who's been getting one shot by Talia over here. Then you have Smolder, who wants to be protected, the Misfortune, who's got Bloodthirster, and River, who's trying to find a flank. So there's really no one good to go in on, so therefore Ayla steps up.
Yeah, they're scared of the Baron, right?
But you have this level 17 Talia.
With 4 items,
And let's just watch what happens to Ayla when he tries to be a front
And this is through the Celestial Shield as well, so he's taking 20% less damage in this entire play. But he basically gets 100 to 0 with no flash.
And like best case scenario, if Nautilus gets an ult on towards Talia, who's the only one that's in range, like what's the follow-up? Talia has flash, Talia's in fog, like Talia's in a really safe position. There's not really much you can do to follow up with a Nautilus engaged in that spot.
It's like it wasn't even a fight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it was actually even gold at that point.
It was a 5v5 even gold fight, But I think the way that TL position around objectives, especially Core and Umti, the way they find engages like around corners. In this fight, it was obviously APA with a really good angle, but it's so frustrating to play against a team which like controlled visions perfectly, and if you walk in, it feels like you're always gonna die, and if they walk into you, it feels like they know that they'll win. So it's like kind of lose-lose.
Yeah, I've got to be a little demoralizing for 100 Thieves because the lane swap in game 1 started well, and it looked like they were in an even game state, but they ended up losing that game by like 15,000 gold.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can win 3 games in a row now. We're headed to break as we go. We have the question of who the best jungler in NA is. Umti, he's making a solid case this series, but let's see who came out on top in our best jungler NA tournament.
We put all 8 of our LCS junglers through a rigorous series of challenges to determine who is worthy of being crowned the best jungle in A. 3 grueling rounds testing their mental, their athleticism, and their jungling prowess. A no-holds-barred single elimination tournament as 8 competitors enter, and only one will leave with the title King of the Jungle.
Oh my god.
Why did they stop hitting the Baron?
I saved my country.
Round 1 sees all 8 of our competitors put their jungle minds to the test in a round of jungler-focused trivia. The rules are simple. The 4 highest scoring players advance. The first round requires them to guess as many solo queue jungle champions as possible within the 90-second time limit, while the last 2 rounds are pure tests of knowledge. Let's begin.
I just named every jungler in the game in 90 seconds. Okay, this should be pretty easy.
Ivern, Lilia, Fiddlesticks,
not in top 10 this morning.
Oh, really?
Very close.
First thing, Hakarim is the highest. I think Nidalee should be there too. At the solo queue. No. Ivan.
Ivan, yes.
Ivan is there.
Talia.
Nope.
Belveth.
Yes.
Lilia.
Yes.
Zyra. No way.
We'll start with Udyr.
Yes.
Kindred.
Nope.
Wow. I gotta think noob champs.
Yi.
Master Yi, yes. The classic.
Ivern.
Yes.
Belveth?
Yep.
Nidalee?
Nope.
Ivern?
Yes.
Rengar.
No.
Gwen.
Gwen, no.
What?
Nocturne? Nocturne has to be
Yes.
there. Nidalee?
Not Nid.
Hecarim.
Yes.
Kha'Zix.
Yes, Kha'Zix.
Graves?
Is Bren there?
No, Brent.
Oh my god. Kha'Zix.
Yes, Kha'Zix.
Viego.
Yes,
Kindred.
No.
Weird.
Master Yi.
Yes.
Hecarim.
Yes.
Udyr.
Yes.
Viego.
Yes.
Fly?
Nope.
What? Oh my god.
Zyra?
Nope.
Bren?
Nope.
Lilia? Lilia for sure.
Yep, Lilia.
Dude, I should get this. It's not even hard. I'm blanking.
Yep.
Gragas.
Really? What?
Carries. What is
Carries?
It's some random jungler that I don't play, I know. Diana? Gragas?
Viego?
Yes. Southwest.
Lee Sin?
Nope.
Volibear?
No Volibear.
Come.
Zinzao.
What?
8 seconds.
Ivern.
Yes.
Ivan.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Came.
Okay. 20 seconds.
I'm just missing all the freaky ones.
Wait. Shaco?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Aurora.
No.
What are the champs even in the jungle?
I'm so stumped.
It's crazy. Karthus has to be one of them. Really?
5 seconds.
I don't remember other jungle champions.
That's okay.
I don't know. Graves?
2 seconds. No Graves. 1.
Open.
The champs you missed were Kha'Zix, Hecarim.
Hecarim. Oh my
Hecarim.
god, that's the big one.
The 5 you missed were Kha'Zix, Viego, Shaco, Udyr, and Nocturne.
Udyr was easy. Udyr was a freebie. Kha'Zix, Hecarim, okay, that's like useless champs. Viego completely useless champ as well.
Zelda,
Completely useless champ.
Shaco,
Completely useless champ.
Udyr, and Master Yi.
Okay, Udyr and Master Yi as well, completely useless champ.
Lilia, Udyr, Nocturne, Master Yi.
Kill me.
I'm going
They don't have skills.
Maybe go Talia,
They don't have skills. They don't have skills. They don't have skills.
Can TP back here.
I can CC. Can you CC? I CC it. No flash.
44.
Talia and Surge.
He's back.
It's all good.
Bot wave is really good for me, by the way.
Okay.
Smart on the flash. I think they're gonna look for dives anyway. I'm gonna go top side.
Okay.
I'm running top as well.
I will
Okay,
cross
I'm coming slowly. Nice job. Smart on the flash.
I'm way back. I'm way
Smart on
back.
the flash. I'm coming top side.
I can move.
He's on flash.
Roll there.
Yeah.
No flash, no flash.
Nice.
Talia can
Oh,
cover
you guys.
bot.
If he hit the turret, I'm
Tyra is coming back side impact.
He plays it.
I'm looking.
Not much, right?
Yeah, not much.
I
He lose
do.
wave then.
This is big, guys.
Well
Good shot,
played.
Opti.
Nice shot down.
Dotas is hiding here.
Oh, I'm coming.
Dotas is hiding there.
Fine.
Are you fine?
No cleanse. I'm looking
I'm
loadless.
coming from behind. I'm coming from behind.
Loadless
I'm
first.
coming from behind.
Okay. I still can look.
Side on the flash too.
Yeah. Kill them all.
Nice job.
Let's go.
Good job. Jack's FTP.
용인이
I'm gonna
너무
break.
좋아.
I'm slowly coming. Talia here. Talia ulting, guys. Look Talia ult.
Run time.
Hey, back and loop.
Chrysante also coming mid.
Aram is good for us.
Yeah, we see Chrysante flank
Flash ulti.
on right
I
side.
can flash.
Flash
Yeah.
dash.
Yeah. Look Rel.
Mary.
I'm going Rel here, guys.
I'm there.
Rel 1
I
HP.
took 2 seconds.
He's on flash. He's on flash.
Play
I
slow.
got him. I got
It's
Talia.
not easy. It's not
W.
easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
I did in 1 second.
It's hard for Zara to get in.
Yeah, we can finish. We can burst.
First and then I want to fight after.
Yeah. Jack's on me. I'm gonna die. I got it. We cannot.
I'm gonna be dead.
Look, Jax.
It's fine.
It's
Hey, play out.
Kind of. What did I use?
Down.
Kind of. It's kind of variable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Welcome back to the LCS playoffs here in summer 2024. Team Liquid taking a commanding early lead in this one. It's a best of 5 against 100 Thieves. They are up 2-0 and have looked near flawless in those first 2 games.
Yeah, and the thing I'm most curious about is with 100 Thieves going back on blue side, if they are going to take out the Taliyah here, because that has been such a crucial pick in both of these team compositions. There we go.
I'm also really interested if Senna priority is going to raise at all in this series, because both teams have really largely been ignoring it. It's only been getting banned out in the second phase, if at all.
Yeah, and I would say more on the side of 100 Thieves. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
For TL, I mean, I just love their bottom.
Working.
I love their bottom. Yeah, I'm like, keep Core JJ on like Nautilus, Rel, or Rakan and have Yawn on a hyper carry. I like that setup, but 100 Thieves, Golden Glue, show me something special here. I want to see some spice in a must-win game for the series, because we might be done really early here. And this would send 100 Thieves to the lower bracket if they drop this game. Backs up against the wall, they go back to the Smolder.
Yep, and I do want to reiterate that is technically a flex pick. Tomo is a huge Smolder enjoyer, but most likely, based on the 2 drafts we've seen, it will probably be going mid for Quid. I just wanted to point out it could be going for bot. They can leave it up as a flex. The Sejuani once again locked in for something he is incredibly familiar with across the split. We saw just in this previous game his insane setup for the TL carries in a lot of these fights. We'll see what they want to pair it with on this red 2 pick, and that is going to be the Ezreal locked in.
I like that Ezreal well, both because it's pretty strong right now, but also because if the Smolder does go bottom, then you don't have to give him a lot of stacks, and it's pretty easy to kind of slow that down. So we've also seen Yawn be very successful on this champ in particular. So nice little 1-2 here, securing the Sejuani for but also dealing with some of the flexibility of the Smolder. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves, what's our angle here? Flash some of the fun picks that they've done in the past. Yeah. I like that. I want to see some spice. Maybe not as spicy as Shaco.
Is Ivern spicy for you? It's spicy for River, I think.
I actually quite like this, because I think, they're probably going to draft another hyper carry for Tomo, and I think they're just going to go for pure 5v5, right? Just buff them up, protect Quid, protect Tomo, and try to play for that team fight, because TL has been so good with their engages, so crispy clean, that they have been wiping 100 Thieves, it feels like, in the fight.
Would you like to see a Zeri with it, to be like the pair with the Smolder?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think Zeri Smolder.
Oh, we got the Ziggs, though. We got our Ziggs 1 trick back in the house. The most diverse one trick I've ever seen here.
I know. Every time someone says he's a 1 trick, he pulls out another champion, and then they have to shift to that champion as his 1 trick. I love the Ivern in a lot of these double 80 comps. I think he brings so much. I just think he's an insanely strong pick right now. We see TL removing the MF. They don't want that partnered with the Ivern or the Leona for setup. The other thing that Ziggs, I do want to point out about APA's Ziggs specifically, we talked about how good he is on the Taliyah and TL's lane assignments. He is so good on this Ziggs in terms of recognizing when he needs to rotate, especially to take down that first tier 1 row of turrets.
Plus, my favorite thing about Ziggs, range. So they've got really good double solo laners with some strong range here for Team Liquid. So I think they're covering both bases. They don't have to interact too much. APA, especially on the Ziggs, is really good at focusing on the minion wave and not interacting too much. So we'll see. As long as they're able to get strong blind pick here for Impact, which is like Cassante is up, so that is looking very likely. Oh, Senna might finally be a pairing here with Ezreal. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting. And I mean, that could be a pretty tough lane for Leon to press really anything. Leon is not one of the strongest early laners, but may not get locked in. I feel like if they do this, then you want to play something that has a little bit of side lane pressure, because I do think it is so strong at enabling that. This is more what I kind of expected from this, more hard engage. One of the things that's also so nice about Ezreal and the Ziggs as far as poke champs is they also have really good backline access, right? You can throw the ultimates to follow up on any sort of dive that's coming in from the Rel, that's coming in from that Sejuani, and they're going to leave 5th pick here for Impact. It's likely that he'll probably play a tank, but he's going to play one, as a result, that has a good matchup against whatever sniper grabs.
Yeah. And we've seen, I mean, I want to throw out the idea, as we will see the Zeri locked in, we still don't necessarily know where these are going, but I'm guessing it's a Zeri bot Smolder mid.
Yeah. I don't feel like it makes that big a difference, honestly. What do you think we're going to see from Sniper? Are you expecting, more just kind of standard carries, or does he actually try to go towards maybe a tank that actually fits the 5v5 bill?
So to me, Sniper has had a bit of a restricted champion pool, and it has been Renekton and Jax are the restrictions. It's probably the most restricted for any of our top laners that we have had in the LCS. And saying that, he's actually been very successful even with those restrictions. The other ones is like a tiny dabbling of like Cassante when they need, and just put him on tank, and then a tiny bit of Camille pops up. But as far as the blinds go, it really is comfort of Renekton or Jax. And in this case, they opt for the Renekton. And I want Impact to actually slam the Gangplank here. Yes!
There we go!
There we go. This is actually one of his most played champions. He has put a lot of time into this. He actually was around and playing, of course, during the Juggernaut period as well. And he has quite a decent win rate on it. He is definitely a well-established Gangplank. Plus, if you're the one with the Sejuani on your team, it's like Renekton is put in a bad spot where Gangplank's going to be scaling up nicely. Gangplank also has some really annoying harassment and a Sejuani as a jungle who he can stack up the stuns when they want to come to you. Plus, his ultimate can be used to the other side of the map if they need. It's like it gives Impact so many tools as like this mastermind for the entirety of Summoner's Rift. Now you've got global Gangplank, semi-global Ziggs, and global Ezreal ults. So call down the Battlestar lasers of ultimates from Team Liquid. Anybody that gets locked up in the CC of Sejuani and Rel could actually just get taken out by triple global ults.
Gangplank for Impact, 48 games, nearly a 69% win rate. Incredible stuff. I think it's actually his highest, just below Shen, I guess, of his most played.
I missed the Shen. The Shen was fun. I'm really glad you pointed out the multiple global, semi-globals we have coming out of TL. Again, I think this team composition can respond to those 5v5 fights that 100 Thieves are going to want. And the thing I'm the most curious about that TL has been pretty good at, especially in game 1, is how they're going to keep this Renekton down and keep Sniper from popping off to the point where
APA just said, how's the prep for Stig going? In all chat. He is
feels bad.
From game number 1, he has been aggressive from game number 1. Some games, we've seen him like take a seat back and kind of chill, but this game has been full chat, all yappa all the time.
He had a week off last week. He was prepping his trash talk. But we have Raz here with Coach Spawn to give us the inside scoop.
That's right. I got Coach Spawn here. First question for you is just, you guys are in a 2-0 spot. What's a positive and negative that you guys seen so far in the series from your guys' standpoint?
I think we're fighting really well, to be honest. I think that every single time we go into team fight, looks like we're going to win. I think our early laning phase has been a little bit lackluster both games, so we've got to tighten that up.
And the last question for me is, Moslo, we've been seeing the GP hovered throughout the series, finally got locked in. Is that you giving them the green light? What's the conditions here for GP? And just another one, just mostly like, how are you going to see the series through?
I actually think it was like the other way around. Like people just keep hovering GP for some reason. It's just giving Impact's ideas. So now he just want to play it for some reason. But honestly, it's fun. So we'll see how we go. Also, special shout out to Spooks. He's like one of my best friends. So it's very fun to coach against him.
I appreciate that. Thank you again. And going to be sending on straight to the casters.
All right. Well, 100 Thieves initiating a lane swap here. They're going to try to hold down Impact, and Ivern coming in, marking up those camps immediately. So MT's just going to have to evacuate to the bottom side of the map, and might be a split map situation. But this is going to be interesting because GP definitely in a lane swap can struggle. You really need farm, and you are not good at defending the dive. You don't really have a dash. You don't really have any sort of defensive ability to counter-strike or anything like that.
Yeah, and then on the other side, it's going to be on Sniper to see how well he deals with the lane swap situation with Jan and Core pushing this in.
I'd also say Ivern can have a rough time in lane swaps because you have to channel your camps and go back to them. And so it gives the opportunity for enemies to steal them away after you've invested your HP and mana to channel them. Can he tag it?
Oh.
Nice steal there for Umpty.
River just maybe got himself in trouble here. He took that Q in thinking he was going to get level 3. Now actually has to use the Q over the wall to be able to escape to that red buff, but did lose some health and some time on that Raptor camp, just like you were saying, Kobe.
Yeah, it's the #1 thing whenever you're playing against Ivern, you're like, I hate this champ. It's so annoying so often. I just need to steal away camps that he's already channeled. And now level 3 for River looking at the dive.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at the dive, but on the other side, they're preempting it. Impact is maybe in some trouble on top side, but Sniper likely going to get redove. He's so low now. They could just go back in for it, but Impact now on the top side. We actually lost picture on him. Is down incredibly low. They're all low as well, though. Can he actually survive? Can he get the barrel chain here? Gets a passive reset. He's going to get the kill on River. He's going to get first blood. You are kidding me. Impact with the top outplay.
This is what we're talking about. What does Impact bring to a lane swap? He has seen it all. He's able to stave off the dive, just as we were talking about how well this GP would be able to deal with the swap. In the meantime, on the bot side of the map, Sniper was still level 1, and they actually were almost able to get a kill onto him in that 2v1 setup. A good start for TL.
Yeah, TL's bot dive was pretty interesting because they were very clearly not willing to take a lot of damage while doing it, and so they're happy just pushing Sniper away.
Yep.
We don't need to actually kill him. We want to push him away so he doesn't get experience on the wave and doesn't get minions on the wave, and so they don't hard commit to it. Meanwhile, speaking of hard commit to the dive, on the top side, they did get the lockdown on here.
Oof.
But someone needed to stay in, man.
Yeah. Ayla took one too many turret shots in that. And then the redive is really tough as soon as, he's going to hit this.
And River did not hit his Q on Impact.
Good job.
Tomo no flash. Maybe Tomo dead?
Two try.
You hear the other, maybe Tomo dead.
Impact played that really well, getting the reset on his passive with the barrel. Autos the barrel, then gets the passive burn onto River there, but Tomo really should have stayed in, and I think he could have just stayed in and finished him off and then flashed out after. But botching that is really tough.
Yeah, and maybe if that root collar had hit from River. Meanwhile,
the engage on a Tomo, he cleanses out, but he gets caught by the knockdown from Core JJ, and in comes Umpty with the W flash. There's the passive, and the kill sure to follow. Ayla blocking him up, but maybe not. Q flash from Core. That gets one back, but he falls. Umpty in some trouble. We'll be able to limp this one out, but they get both sums off of Jan there. So getting one back, and honestly, not too bad of a job from the 100 Thieves bot lane.
Yeah, a little bit messier than I think TL would have wanted. The initial setup was good, right? With Umpty coming down to help out the 2v2 bot just as the swap back. And when we talk about where TL get their advantages in swaps, it is typically here when they are able to swap back.
Damn.
Core goes in.
Love that from
is
Core.
already here.
I mean, the Q flash, even though Tomo cleanses the Q, then he gets the crash down right afterwards, and then Umpty's like, I will follow, flashes to be able to the W, but he was so low that they then fully committed. It is still a double kill for Jan, and grabbing the extra 2 there, so 100 Thieves did get one back.
Core gives him a freebie. So now it's even as he was caught out on the wrong side of the map. I think trying to get some vision around the grubs. Didn't expect them to be there, but Quid is able to chase him down. And now Quid is here again, and Umpty maybe going to have to play this a little bit more carefully, but in comes the Ziggs ult from downtown, as well as the GP ultimate. Umpty takes aggro on the grubs, though, and he falls. Quid gets 2 back-to-back kills. River survives, and Sniper's here on the other side. He doesn't have level 6, but he's trying to chase down Impact with the slice and the dice. APA, though, pushes out Quid, and now Sniper's the one in trouble. Doesn't have his dash, does have his flash. Nice sidestep on the barrel, but he is still stuck on the wrong side of the map. He's trying to get some XP to get to 6. He flashes out to the brush. But APA, misplace on the satchel allows him to escape.
That's a bit of a heist, honestly, for 100 Thieves, actually. And let me highlight where these kills are going. This could change the whole game. This is not just some fun chaos that's going on here. These are kills onto Zeri and onto Smolder. Quid was cleaning up in the little skirmish by the Grubs here, getting fed early. 100 Thieves, some real hope at actually taking a game in this series.
Yeah. Oh, and Core is just caught out, clearing out some vision.
Yeah, that's how it started all out through the River, and this time River himself was able to hit his root caller, allowing that follow-up from Quid, so that's exactly what they want. Get these double 80 carries fed. You have the Ivern for later for scaling. Even though the Renekton isn't going to be super useful, you've got Ivern for the scaling with the double 80 carries, and you have Leona to get your engages.
Yeah, River and Ayla hovering behind Tomo, so TL unlikely to be able to make any sort of a dive happen here. River has some time while that passive channel's over on the Krug, so can just back them up. They're worried about being behind him and any sort of potential 3v2. We know, of course, that is over clearing that Grom, so not going to be any worries here.
Going to be a bit of an arms race, too, with can River get, his redemption and enough support shielding items to be able to deal with all of this long-range damage that comes from the TL comp?
Oh, maybe going to be a fight here. Ayla's going in. Tomo has Mom to come over the top, hits everyone. Yon is down. Unfortunately, the shutdown went to Ayla. Can they get Core? Core getting low and has no flash. They want Ayla to hold the tower aggro. Tomo actually picks it up, gets stunned in the turret range, and now the Ziggs ulti comes in. You just had to wait for your support to step in and grab aggro, and that would have been a guaranteed kill. And on the other side, the lightning crash just to run away here, but the passive stun is there. The bombs to follow it up, knock him up. APA and get another kill back in mid lane and shut down Quid.
Yeah, and that's big for APA in this mid lane. Quid was going off, and he'll be able to get a few turret plates off of that as well, while is already on these Grubs, and Impact is pushing in this top wave.
Oh, man, let's take a look at this replay. So it was nice movement here from Team Liquid duo, with just walking through River into the brush right as Quid is coming to roam down and follow. And so it's a face check. And Quid, he knows it. It's just, you need to track these missing members of TL. We've seen it so many times, and with a really good timing here towards mid. And look what that actually got them. So many neutrals here. Turret plates in mid. 2 turret plates were taken bottom in the early startup of the game. And then all 3 Grubs here finished up by So more turret plates are here to follow. And this is to the team that actually has Ziggs, who can then execute the turret itself. So very good synergy here for Team Liquid in the early game. And the early hope of the kills onto the double 80 carries might not be enough, as TL now are really set up for a good mid game.
I'm just so concerned for Sniper. I mean, Sniper had no TP, but he kind of made that classic mistake where you greed and try to stay for the wave, but you're too low to farm any of it. So he just basically stayed and watched the whole wave die. And now the wave bounces off his tower. Look at the gold lead. It's 1.2K in top lane. And when GP gets ahead in these melee matchups, you just get queued on cooldown and you can't all in him, so you can't really do anything. We know that is playing behind Impact here, so if Sniper tries to come up and touch this wave whatsoever, he's likely to die. Does use the slice and dice, and now in comes and Sniper has no flash and nowhere to go. Gonna pop the Dominus, but that is not gonna do anything here. Impact takes another kill. It's a top gap for sure.
And Impact and TL are just making Sniper's life absolutely miserable across all 3 games, really keeping him down off of either the swaps or really clever plays against him in lane. He is not having a good time in the series.
Those pesky junglers! Those junglers always interfering with the honorable 1v1s of top lane. there even flashed the cute cat face at him as he comes out of the brush for the counter gank there, and delivers him another death. A really nice lane gank from though. You saw him channeling his recall. I love those hover plays that junglers do. Just hovering in the lane brush, and so as soon as Sniper went in for the trade, cancel on the recall, and good punish from
And TL now have a 1.4K gold lead. Look at
Impact.
how much of that is Impact.
More than all of it.
It's called Bank Plank for a reason. Invest now. It is a very safe place to put your money. Impact will pay you back later.
With the Ziggs combination, too, it can give them really good setups. So you see Umti's wrapping around.
Ayla going to use Zenith Blade to try to get out to safety. We'll see if that works for him. Going to get stunned up, and now the follow-up is there from Core. Yon not in range, so it's just a bit of chip damage. You can see, look back to mid lane. Quid is lying in that side brush, was trying to hope that APA would walk into him and face check. APA, though, playing it safe, waits till he shows on the wave. Quid trying to get a good trade here, but look at this damage back from the Ziggs. Tagged even by the side of that bomb, and Umti's behind him. Oh, no! Just gets burst down. The redemption was coming through from River, but it wasn't in time. Quid dies again, was gifted a couple kills, but now that lead is completely gone.
And we talked about how annoying Core was in game 1. Can we talk about how annoying Umti is in this game? He seems to be everywhere on the map, making plays on this Sejuani, and now they're going for a bot lane.
They're looking for Tomo. Tomo gets comboed in. The stun is there to follow. Cleanse Flash comes out, does dodge the Glacial Prison. Tomo will limp out of this one. Just use the ulti to clear out the wave here. So will survive for now, but the True Shot Barrage, not quite enough. Can APA hit one more bomb? No. Not quite. So they do survive, but it means TL gets the chunk, gets the push, is first onto the Dragon, and Yon is going to be pushing out mid.
And can we actually pull the inventories back up? Because you always see this pace from TL. Everybody here has one item completed for them. And so they're pushing the tempo on these really big advantages. The pieces that are in inventory. Yeah.
I feel so bad.
But even the other people that weren't ahead in gold, when your item's completed there, really able to feel the difference. So here's another look at the mid play.
Yeah, I thought the redemption might come through. Saw Umti coming up. I think he would have been dead anyway. But again, that should be a new emote too. The shrug. Oh, that's tough. But again, Umti on the Sejuani has been everywhere. We finally get a smile out of Spawn, a little let's go.
Oh, they're flashing. They're coming from every single side. Tomo goes to mid to try to escape the bot ganks, but the bot ganks come to you.
Core JJ and Umti are just working overtime right now, setting up kill after kill. And Umti here, even on a little invade.
Starting to get a little bit mean. They're taking his lunch money. They're putting him in the locker.
All right, let's see about...
Core's top
they gotta focus on the tower now.
Wants this. He wants this. He's wrapping around top.
Uh-oh, Sniper does pop the dominance early, trying to clear out this wave as much as he can, but the tower's just dead, so now Sniper's got to run. Yon's coming up from mid lane, and does Sniper really have a way out? Ayla's going to make the run up here too, but I think Sniper is slated to die, does get stunned up. He'll try his best. There's the slice. There's the dice. Does buy some time. Ayla here to block some shots. We'll see if they can get him out once again. True Shot Barrage, not quite enough. Sniper gets out, but it is at the cost of the tower, the ulti, and the flash.
And at the same time, APA got that bot side turret, and thus far has been safe enough. He's going to ult the wave to clear it out, and that should stop any sort of potential collapse from River.
Team Liquid do look like the best team in the LCS.
They do.
I don't know about everybody else here, but they've got us set up for a pretty quick day as far as this series. 4.6K the gold lead, and Core JJ's back.
Core's rapping again, man. Everywhere he goes, he's finding these plays. Is just going to jump back towards safety. Umti, though, now hunting for more as the Glacial Prison connects. Will the redemption be enough? Yes. They're just going to disengage off it. They know they can't burst Ayla down.
Did either of you see if objective bounties turned on right at 14 minutes? Because to me, whenever I'm playing, that's really depressing. You know you're so far behind.
You already knew you're losing, but we're losing that bad.
You had to tell everyone.
Tells you,
But
man.
Those are the worst.
They're certainly on now at the 15-minute mark, and TL want to keep them that way as they constantly take away more and more resources for 100 Thieves. And when 100 Thieves are running the comp that has double AD carry with Ivern, they want to have multiple items later on to be able to fight. TL aren't even going to let them get to that stage of the game because they have such good turret destroying power.
Yep, as you see, Ziggs is already pushing up against that bot tier 2 as they're setting up for this potential Herald take.
X-Flash getting channeled. They're going to look for Ayla. Can they stop the Blast Cone? Oh, they Blast Cone just themselves. They thought Ayla was in range. He was just on the precipice of stepping in. So unfortunately, TL blast themselves and Ayla to safety.
Team Rocket.
Unlucky.
Rocket's
blasting off again.
I mean, honestly, too, sometimes you're like, oh, I got to pop it, so he's not going to be able to use it when he gets back out.
So close.
But since they're both on it, too, definitely a funny one. Honestly, not going to cost them at all here as they still get that Rift Herald. And the Rift Herald does that job of continuing to push this timer. That's going to be another like 70% of a turret's HP. And then guess what? APA will be able to execute it very shortly after that. The Ziggs Demolitionist is one of his favorite parts of the champion. The other favorite part, we're going to see, Rel engages with Rel Ultimate, trying to soak people up and see some of these big Ziggs bombs, ultis coming through for maximum area of effect damage.
And they have the follow-up from the GP ult as well, right? Like GP and Ziggs in a lot of these team fights. Impact is now 2.6k ahead of Sniper. Just a really, really tough position. And
there it is.
Tough position for River as he gets absolutely obliterated by Core and the Ziggs bombs over the wall.
No Rel ult even necessary. He just hit him with the crash down. That's plenty of time. Poof, you're gone.
They're pretty good. They haven't lost in a while, and it's looking like they're not going to be losing this series today unless 100 Thieves can pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, they really, really need to find a way to get their carries online, but it's going to be tough just with how much map pressure and pick potential that TL have.
And you've just lost your jungle, right? Like, this is what TL does better than any team in the league, is they take it over, and Impact looking for a potential solo kill here. Will he push forward? He doesn't want to risk it, so he's just going to take that damage on the tower.
Well, and look at this, right? Pushing in, they're pushing in mid. Like, this entire map is within TL's control already, and then they have the Ziggs and the GP to just mow down turrets.
And the cool thing to look at is how early in the game they're doing this. So really good job keeping up the pace. Now you look at how efficiently Team Liquid actually finish these sorts of games out. And it's really nice when you have these extra globals that we keep on harping on, because those globals can also be used on minion waves here to kind of cheat the map a little bit for Team Liquid and allow them to continue to keep up this pace. Dragon is up, so they can easily go collect this. It looks like 100 Thieves might make their stand here. They're bringing everybody around.
Liquid's here already, though, and again, Ayla may be caught out, trying to use his Ends Blade to escape. Sniper's here, pops the Dominus, and Mom is going to come over top. Nice multi-man stun, but mostly the damage just lands on Umpty, and he is so damn tanky. TL stands strong, push out Sniper, who is looking like a wet piece of paper right now. Can't really get anything done, and one hit pushes him back to base.
Yeah, and this is so suffocating. They're going to delay his back. They're going to come take all these jungle camps, potentially push in onto this bot side turret. They can always go back for Drake if they want to. Impact is working on pushing out top side. Yeah. It's just so suffocating.
How do you play in your own jungle? You just can't. They're going to drop this. I don't even know if the Herald's going to charge. They might just save it for the tier 3.
Nice.
Does that still count as a charge?
They can reuse it because it goes on the rubble here. So Umpty's going to use it to escape, maybe.
Oh wait, he's driving in.
Oh, he's going in.
Oh, he's going to mid. He's going to mid. He's just going to drive right past them over to mid tier 2. Tokyo drift, but Umpty gets knocked out on the wrong side, and Core may be caught out. Yon trying to fire to keep him safe on the side, though.
Take it up to the Ziggs, and then the execute on the tower from APA.
The turret just disappeared.
Beautiful driving there from Umpty. Uses it to escape and kill an objective.
Would you trust Umpty to drive your getaway car?
100%.
It's Vin Diesel right there. He hit the NOS and just drifted over to mid lane.
Clean. He did hit 2 pedestrians on the way there.
It's fine.
Those
details, Kobe.
It's fine.
Yeah, as we see the replay of this Herald, just watch how quickly this turret goes down with the Ziggs.
Yep. Passive auto W, that thing just gets absolutely destroyed. Now they're having fun. Now they're having fun. Okay. TL coaching staff starting to get to relax a little bit here.
I actually don't believe it. I think he's doing this kind of fake. Spawn was very self-conscious about everyone making fun of how angry he was. So this is like a PR coach cam. Yeah. I think we've got a PR coach cam. Now he's like, oh, look at this.
Are you calling him out? Are you calling him Miles fake?
I've known Spawn for like 12 years. I know his tricks.
Yep. Serpent's Fang completed now from Impact. Lots of shielding obviously provided there by the Ivern. So Pretty nice answer to that, as they're just going to keep up the push. And oh my god, True Shot Barrage, about 40% of the HP there from Yon onto Tomo. Sniper trying to see if he can find an angle, but Impact's on the side as well, and one barrel chain could spell the end for 100 Thieves. We'll see if they walk a little bit closer. Impact almost in range here. Doesn't go for the triple barrel. The double barrel doesn't have the range to get the job done. Core again lurking in the shadows as he always seems to be. 100 Thieves, though, using Daisy to clear out these brushes to try to check as much as they can. Nice shift forward from Yon, gets a big bunch of poke, and now the Glacial Prison. It connects onto Ayla. He flashes over, trying to turn it around onto APA. APA gonna have to flash out. Is on the other side. Sniper is dueling against Umpty and Core. He's losing that. Quid's trying to get it done against Impact and Yon, but he can't. As in comes Umpty. TL stands strong. It's 4 for 0. Make it 5 for 0 as TL can't quite get River, but have the one minion trying to siege the tower, are going to be able to knock it down, are going to be able to take the inhibitor and take an absolute stranglehold on this game.
APA's got bombs for everybody. That was funny. He threw a Q at Sniper in the jungle and immediately threw his ult at the other 3 that were mid lane to allow Impact to chase. Look at this.
Yeah, as we see them kind of setting up this trap, the GP ult goes down, does so much damage. APA layering it on top of that, and even when they're able to do it, Sniper cannot get into this fight to protect the 100 Thieves carries. They end up getting absolutely massacred on the back line there.
Oh, back to live, back to a scrap. I gotta say, Quid was pretty close to actually knocking down both Impact and Yon, but didn't quite have the damage to get it done. Umpty very intelligently peeled away from that fight against Sniper because he realized that doesn't matter. He can't get past Core. He came over to help.
Also want to highlight some of the things that TL do when they get leads. They use their money to counter what you are strong at. So he's countering the Ivern with a lot of the shields that come from him. Impact investing his money wisely.
Man, look at Core. He's behind him. He always seems to find these spots, and Sniper gets the bad news. He flashes out on the other side. Umpty has been caught, but he is so damn tanky. In comes the ulties from downtown. TL raining hell down on him. Quid, though, trying to get something done. Can't quite do it. Gets burst out by Core and APA. The double TP to mid. It's just Homo alive. He's got no health and no prayer of making this happen. Nice flash out to dodge, but the ulti comes through. Another sidestep, but it just doesn't matter. TL were undefeated in the regular season, and they will not be beaten today. They're going to be the first team to claim a spot at Worlds, the first team to guarantee a spot in the upper bracket finals, and the first team to lock a spot for the LCS finals weekend.
And what a performance from Team Liquid. Our first team to qualify for Worlds. People were already talking about what it was going to be like to see TL in the finals, to see them at the World Championship. It's not a surprise that they've done it, but the way that they did it with such a resounding 3-0 victory over 100 Thieves, never missing a beat, looking absolutely phenomenal.
Really impressive stuff there from the LCS #1 seed. Take a bow, well deserved.
They are looking unstoppable, and they're going to be awaiting the winner of C9 or FlyQuest. But we got Raz on stage for an interview. Take it away, bud.
Impact, yeah, it has to be Impact. He's tying his shoes on this one, but honestly, it's been an incredible performance on your guys as a whole. First thing, I want to get your immediate reaction being told you guys have qualified for Worlds. You guys are in finals weekend. How does that feel knowing the trek that you guys have been on?
I mean, after game is gone, we are talking about, wait, actually we are going to World? And like, oh, we didn't know that, like, because the game-wise is too easy for us.
Yeah.
So I'm not feel like it's for World Championship ticket, you know? So, I mean, that's it.
Also, yes, you guys have just been in top form. This has been an incredibly quick series. Have you guys been happy with the level you guys have been putting out? Because anytime we hear content from you guys or Spawn, yourself, you're always really self-critical. How do you feel about your guys' current performances?
I mean, to me, we played better than Scream. That's why I like it. But I think we couple make that big mistake that game too. I remember the first game and second game. I mean, third game, their lanes are when some of them die in the top side. So I'm not counting. But first game, second game, we make the big mistake, I think. So we are not a perfect team, so we still have to improve. That's it.
That being said, you guys have hit, I mean, the awards have been coming out first team All-Pro for yourself and a lot of your teammates. Coaching split, of course, for the team as a whole. And there's been a lot of noise about you being the front runner for for MVP as a whole. How has the journey been for you and your team? Because have you been able to take a step back and kind of think about the strong performances you guys had to get these awards?
I mean, that's our goal. We should hold our strongness, but we have to fix our weakness too, sir. But I mean, we definitely show that we are good performance too in stage 2. Also, honestly, I mean, kind of weird to say, no one can get MVP without me that season, I think. You know?
Yeah.
So it's guaranteed I get MVP, I think.
I feel confident about it.
Yeah, so it's not like happy, you know? Because if you're like 50-50 who getting that, are very exciting, more dopamine, you know, like, oh, maybe I get it.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm getting, you know.
I love that confidence. Maybe we could take that confidence a little bit further because you guys are going to be facing the winner of FlyQuest NC9. You guys have been the top 3 teams throughout this entire split. First of all, who do you think is going to take that series, and what are you excited about going up against kind of like those level of opponents?
To me, both teams to be top matchup, but should be C9, I guess C9 3-1.
Yeah.
My opinion should be they win because in Scrim, when we play the Scrim, I can feel the like team vibe going C9 going to where their team vibe.
Yeah.
But when I play against FlyQuest, what are they doing? It's like they're actually completely touring this Scrim. My opinion. So, pretty C9 win.
Have you seen that level? Because you guys faced them pretty recently. Have you seen the improvements from C9 since the last time you guys faced them?
Jojo is same, but the team-wise is, I think, a little bit better than before. I mean, that should be better, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care that much. Like, even they improve like more, like, who cares, you know? Like, if we play better, they're gonna get shit onto us.
Yeah.
So, just focus our thing.
Okay. I want a final message from you because we've added Twitch subs in the chat, and of course, for people who end up subbing, that increases the prize pool a little bit and a little bit more. What's your message for the people out there to get them, to convince them to be able to get those subs out there?
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know? Well, now you know. What's the message?
Okay, I will sub to LCS too.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that Lacton, the emoticon, right? That Lacton, that pace.
Oh yes, the Renekton one, in-game emo. If they end up getting that one.
I mean, that looks cool and looks cute. I will get to, but I didn't know that. Sorry, guys. But thanks to guys to buy.
Honestly, yeah. And a message for the fans out there. I've been hearing the Team Liquid chants from the crowd out there. What's a message for them?
What message? I mean, cheer for us. You know, like we're gonna play well in the Invitational too. I think I'll make that proud of you guys if possible. I think we will. So trust us and cheer for us.
There it is. Congratulations again on the series. Congratulations on being able to lock in a spot in Finals Weekend and Worlds. We're going to be sending one straight to the lounge.
Thanks, Raz. All I see is GigaChat impact in the chat. That's just everything is spamming. The series felt very one-sided.
Yeah, very fast. I was thinking it was going to be one-sided, but not in this way.
Yeah.
I thought it would be more scrappy and fighty, but it felt like every fight TL took, they just won. So, yeah.
They were in a winning position at the start of like every fight.
Yeah.
Which was the weirdest thing. Like even when the game was close, they'd have those 5v5s in game 2 where they just kill Illa for free or they kill Sniper for free.
Yeah. I think they're just the masters of vision control and kind of understanding where and how to engage on objectives. So I think for a team like 100 Thieves, which rely kind of on mechanics to outplay, that doesn't really match well in the fights. It's like objective control versus scrappy. The objective control will always win the fight, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like a mismatch in that situation.
Probably one of the hardest series Snipers ever played.
Yeah, probably ever will play.
It just felt like he could never do anything.
Yeah.
The
Every time
series.
he wanted to fight, he's just into 3 people. So yeah, sucks for him. He did get kind of stomped against Impact and the boys.
Yeah, hard to pick a player of the series in this one because it was such a one-sided trio, but we have decided as a broadcast team on APA. I think a lot of this is based off of games 1 and 2, just some incredible Taliyah performances.
Yeah, his Taliyah in both game 1 and 2, he had such a good early game. Obviously he died 2 times the second game, but he came back really fast after, and I think he's just very good at utilizing his teammates as well. He knows when and why he needs people around him. He's also completely fine playing by himself on side lane as well. So I think right now he's very versatile, and on a champ like Taliyah or Ziggs, I think he just takes over side lane so quickly. It's so annoying to play against Taliyah or Ziggs when you're even in the game and then they find one play and suddenly the game is over. And that's how it kind of felt for 100 Thieves. They were in the game until it was just over.
His team fighting on Taliyah was so insanely good. And then it's just a classic APA Ziggs game at the end where he's one-shotting people around the map. I like the point you have about him playing the map so well, which to me is one of the most surprising things about him, because he's only completing basically his first year since he came in so late into Summer Split last year of like LCS level play, but his macro seems so good. So it's just a really impressive thing for him to be able to do. Let's check out the bracket. You're very interested in this because we need to figure out how Dignitas goes to Worlds.
Yes, that is important.
So Jensen can make it again, and so you can go. You got to beat 100 Thieves. Then you also have to beat the loser of C9 FlyQuest.
Yes, and if we beat them, then we're in Worlds.
Then you're in top
lower
3.
bracket finals as well.
Yeah. So still 4 best of 5s to win to be Summer Split champions. And get the password in all the lobbies next year to be Dig Season.
I mean, getting the password to be Dig Season is like a win in itself, right? Obviously winning LCS is cool, but like that's, like, come on. Like, let's be real, that's the real win.
Yeah, literally that password hasn't been changed in at least 5 years.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna have to relearn it. Anyways, let's look at the bracket for the NACL as well, since they are also going through their playoffs. Looks like we got Fly Challengers in that lower bracket. They're the ones that are going to have a lot of pressure. Very similar format here where the higher seed drops down and gets a bit of a bonus seeding in the lower bracket, but a lot of games still to play over in the NSCL.
Yeah, I thought Fly C was going to be the favorites, but now in the lower bracket, maybe they have a bit more challenge. Will be interesting to see what happens in this one too.
Yeah, they're doing full Fearless throughout as well, which really creates some interesting drafts. And I mean, I wish we could have spent more time together.
Yeah, this was a quick day.
Yeah, this is quick. You haven't been here, but we're done. Yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for that big rematch between C9 and Fly to see which one of them will qualify for Worlds tomorrow. And now we're going to be sending it over to the LCS Challengers. See ya.
Bye.
Well, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having me for a couple hours.
Smoker still stayed.
Good up 30. So Maokai has a deep pink card here. I'm basing.
Flash.
He's
Nice.
dead.
Nice. Keep going. This guy's fast score.
Keep going.
Guys, nice. I can kill. Give me.
Yeah, you get it.
Good job.
Guys, nice. Plus
Nice. Okay. Yeah. They cannot dive top.
Did he cancel it?
I'm coming. They're diving top.
Wait.
I'm coming. I don't have anything. Okay. They use both songs.
Gabi.
I'm on the way. Let's go.
Oh, let him flash. Guys,
Slowly.
okay?
Q 1 second.
Coming this way.
They
Yeah.
overpush.
What kind of flash?
What kind of flash, guys?
Yeah, we got it.
We got one.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm playing.
Yeah, I'm coming to you.
Pass the flash, guys.
Varus is dead.
They're well played.
I can go over.
Press. Yeah.
Just kidding.
I press everything.
We use every routine.
I'm coming.
I'm sit down to fight, okay?
Yeah. I used every routine.
Mid turret. They're gonna hit the mid turret.
Yeah, hit the mid turret.
I can fight. Yeah.
I'll TP this.
Yeah. TP it. I'm trying to suck it.
Careful getting sucked in. Play slowly. Fake engage.
Yeah, it's fight.
Hitting front. What kind of flash?
형, 나 이쪽 갈게.
I mean, here, go.
Okay. Varus is dead.
Watching road.
What kind of flash?
Let's go back, guys.
Be
What kind of flash, Jan?
Team Liquid take game number 1.
Lucius is hiding here.
Oh, I'm coming.
there. Are you fine?
No cleanse. I'm looking loadless.
I'm coming from behind. I'm coming from behind.
Okay.
Amen. Side on the flex too.
Yeah. Kill them all.
Nice job.
Let's go.
Good job.
Bro, 1 HP.
He's not flash.
Play flow. I got
It's not easy.
I did in 1 second.
I'm gonna die.
I got it. We cannot.
I'm gonna be dead.
Look checks. It's fine.
Play out.
What did they use? Kind of. It's kind of variable.
Yeah.
It's not that good, guys. It's not that good.
Correct me.
Jan comes in for the easy double. It's match point 2-0 for Team Liquid.
I'm coming mid. My ult 4. I'm gonna kill this mid, okay?
We can just get 3 and
I'm
leave.
gonna show soon.
Let's just get 3 and leave.
There's 1 HP.
We got it. No redemption.
I'm gonna get 3 and leave, okay?
Yeah.
I'm basing now. We can start 1-3-1 after.
In comes the Alties from downtown. TL raining hell down on him. Quid, though, trying to get something done. Can't quite do it. Gets burst out by Core and APA. The double TP to mid. It's just Homo alive. He's got no health and no prayer of making this happen.
Go Liquid.
Worlds. Umpty, you made Worlds.
Wait, really? Wait, are we on ults?
Yeah, Umpty, you made Worlds.